Bum ba bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hello. Happy Hitler's birthday. 420. Also Karl Kopinski's birthday.
It
I
is.
never knew he had so much in common with the Fuhrer,
Yeah.
but he
Makes sense.
does. Yeah, joined tonight. Kim and Dan are here.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
So, let's listen to Donkey Kong. Let's paint some druids. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's
Gonna count me
relax.
down?
Oh, are you gonna eat?
Yeah, when are we
Gonna munch?
Is the chat
Yeah.
not supposed to know about that?
Oh no, they will know. Yeah,
Oh wait, how come I
we're
can't?
all gonna do drugs.
Yeah.
So,
For some reason, I couldn't hear him for a second.
So-
I hear him now.
here you go. I'm giving drugs to Kim. Drugs
Hell
to
yeah.
me.
Oh my
Why
god.
would- No, of
Let's
course they
ban
can
the
know.
stream.
Cheers. Did you eat yours already?
Yeah,
Jeez, you just gobbled it down.
I'm totally I'm
There we
munching.
go. Oh yeah.
I'm going into the world.
Cheers, Dan.
Bears.
What
I was
up?
thinking instead of calling them Eddies, we can just call them Edwards
That's true.
Pretty
for
good.
long.
Oh yeah, in front of the kids, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. It's easier.
Instead of saying Eddies or
I mean,
Adam.
does it matter though? Because they're just gonna be like,
My parents eat Edwards.
yeah.
Yeah.
My parents eat Edwards and get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got a cup of coffee too because I fell asleep in our son's room.
Same here. I'm getting crossfaded.
At
Hell yeah.
6:30. Crossfaded with coffee.
I'm having cranberry lime mojito flavored canatinis.
Oh.
What do you guys have?
Oh no, you're actually getting water, my friend.
Uh,
Water, my dude.
What are we having right now? What did
Oh,
we
you're
just
talking
eat?
about what kind of edibles? I thought you were
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
something.
It's these like
No.
these really good. They're called
Wild.
That's the brand, and they're sour
W-Y.
cherry.
LD? Yeah, sour cherry.
Yeah, those
Actually,
are our
all
favorite.
all of them are good. The sour cherry is like the most fun one, which I know sounds really stupid, but the other ones are just more chill.
Yeah.
Which, that's not the technical term, but
All right. What's up, everybody?
yeah, what's up? How's everyone doing?
Oh man.
Riley says Hocus Pocus, Reefer Tokus.
Okay, sure.
Cool, Riley.
I get it. Smart
I just had to read it.
Mm.
Oh man.
Louis
I don't-
Whitworth
I
said
don't
that
even know
he's
why I'm
not
paying
celebrating
attention.
Hitler's birthday, just so you guys know.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Morgan Bishop says first stream I've caught in a while. Does it look like that druid is leaning forward taking a dump? Has that been brought up already?
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the appropriate way to dump.
Yep.
This is the healthiest way to dump is to do the
True.
squat. That was like one of the, like, not that I didn't know that, but still, like, I remember we went to this, like, side street restaurant. I wouldn't even call it a restaurant. It was just like a stall on the side of the road. Like, restaurant in terms, it was, I don't know, it was like a shoebox type of restaurant, just had an open front, almost like a garage door open.
What is this?
Dan and I went the first time we went to Indonesia,
Mm-hmm.
and
I was gonna say, yeah, this has to be Polly.
like it was food was good, but they had a bathroom there, and I remember going in, and there was just like a bucket of water and then a hole in the ground, and I was like, oh no,
What
I've
if you-
never squat pooped. I was like, I don't know what to
my
do. I was like, do I
God,
take? Where do I put my pants?
Hold on, can you imagine if you were like, oh, the bucket of water is where I poop, and you pooped in the water that everyone uses to clean themselves?
And just poured it down into the hole. Just walked out.
All of the water.
What?
They had a second poop hole, and I went to use it, and the guy said, I said, "What's the stick for?" And he said to check if there's snakes in the poop hole, and I just held it in. I just didn't shit. I just risked shitting my pants for 3 hours in the hot jungle heat because he wasn't joking. He was like, "Yeah, swish the stick around and see if there's a cobra in the shithole, so it doesn't jump up and bite you." I was like, "I'm good, man.
Swish the
Fine.
stick around.
Snakes in the poop hole.
I'm really good."
That's cool.
Although, I mean,
Indiana Jones would have
We had
freaked
running
out.
water at the place that we
And the
stayed
snakes
when
in
I
the
went with you
pool.
guys.
Yeah, and then
And-
the power died.
No, but do you
And
remember the Dan? Do
the
you remember the
chips came
spider
out.
that we told you about?
Yeah.
The spider that was in our toilet, and it was massive, and it would not die.
No.
Remember, it would not die. Like we threw our shoe at it, and it
That was
was
its home.
bigger
Got
than
hit
my.
with a
it was
full shoe
bigger
and just
than
was
my
like,
hand.
what?
And it, yeah,
What
it just
are you
like
doing?
crawled away. We just didn't go in. We didn't go
just
into
remember-
the bathroom, and we didn't use the shower because of that.
I just remember the comedic timing of all of us going to bed, and then 2 seconds after the lights went out, the power grid died, and then we heard it go doo, and then slowly in the jungle, all the monkeys started going.
No, wait, Dan.
The jungle
Dan,
just got
first.
louder slowly.
Right before you heard the jungle, you heard the like, doo, right, and then you heard the
Yeah.
ow. Those
Yeah,
lizards that broke
yeah.
the silence first.
Yeah, those lizards are so
They were
fucking loud.
so loud.
Dude,
I can't
the
remember
thing,
if it was it me or James who screamed "fuck" the second the power went out.
James.
Because the whole night
It was
leading
so-
up to that, we were talking about
But it was
like
so
that
funny
better not happen.
because all of our rooms we could hear each other. So we all heard him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like we all heard him
Yeah.
scream.
Fuck. Because the whole night we were like, this place is sketchy. The power grid better not die because it's like 115 degrees. We need air conditioning. And we're like
It was
30 miles
so-
away from town.
That was so terrible. That was like one of the weirdest feelings. I felt so sick because it was so hot that I got sweaty, but then the air conditioning was on, so it made me feel really sick. And they only gave you a sheet because they're like, it's hot. That's all you need. But I felt like just wet and sick and cold. It was so terrible.
My favorite part was Dan in the pool and
I
then the
was
giant
just gonna
fruit
bring
bat
that up.
flying by. Just a
Yeah.
4-foot tall bat going
My glasses,
right by
just
his face.
my glasses are off, so I can't see anything. And Dave and Kim are laughing, and I'm like, what? They're like, nah, just keep swimming. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? And they're like, no, just keep swimming. And I keep hearing something, and I think it's bugs. It's a fucking 4-foot fruit bat diving down right past my head constantly to drink the water.
It was so big.
And he just heard like,
I
like from
couldn't stop
the,
watching.
from the wings.
Yeah, eventually I see the thing, but my glasses are off, so I just see this like dog come down out of the sky right
Yeah,
next to me. I'm like,
as big as a dog.
oh fuck.
Dude,
So big.
but really, like the craziest thing about like my fear with those poop holes, to use the bathroom is like clearly you need to squat into them, whatever. But like, do you take your pants off completely? Like, do I take my shoes off? Like, what do I do? And I like what if I did that and I just shit? Like, what if I took my pants, put them around my ankles, bent down, and then just shit into my underwear? Like that's like my fear. Or like, what if I just ate something bad and then I just sprayed diarrhea
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
over my clothes and my shoes?
That would have been the best
That's what
way.
they call going native. You just gotta do it. Remember
I
that
came
first
out
night
of
we were
there.
there? There was like that weird moment where it was almost magical, where we realized they were doing that lantern festival. And there's all those like floating candle lanterns. And we're like, oh, cool. And then the power grid died, and I was like, fucking kill me, dude.
I still remember the first time we went there, and our like dude who drove us around, whatever, I don't know what you call him, but
The
he was our
chauffeur?
friend. His name's Kadek.
Yeah.
Kadek Radiasa. So you need somebody's help going to Indonesia. Kadek's
Bali,
he's your boy.
specifically, yeah.
Yeah, in Bali. But he's really great. He got I have a Balinese door behind me. I don't know if you can see it. It's back there. It's huge. It was a
Forgetting you
custom
have that.
handmade thing, but he's the guy who got it to me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he helped to organize like all the shipping and.
He
making
told
sure
us
it got to
about
us.
all like the ghost stories and stuff from Bali.
He's also
That
the
was
one who
great.
brought us the Balinese wine, the hooch,
Oh hell yeah!
Hooch.
the Iraq,
Yeah,
Iraq War.
Yeah, when we went to
Iraq
the
War.
Iraq War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Iraq
Balinese
alcohol.
moonshine.
That was incredible. If anybody in the chat knows what we're talking about, it's called Iraq, and it's
I remember,
very good.
He was the one where when we were at that crazy wood carving place with all the really cool shit, I bought so much stuff that when we were leaving, he came up to me and he was like, "Why are you leaving?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You bought a bunch of stuff. Demand a free thing." And I was like, "You can just do that?" And he was like, "They expect you to." And I was like, "What?" I had no room left, so I let Carla pick something. But my bags were literally, I had to throw stuff away to even get on the plane. But yeah,
Is that the one where you bought the chess set from?
yeah,
Oh,
That one?
yeah, that
With
was
like
That
they had the
place-
roosters out front and everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
They
Dan
had
got a
that.
So
hand
pretty.
carved chess set.
It's so pretty.
yeah. It's great. I got that huge barong mask too. The one that's all burnished and colored. It's really great.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I bought so much. I had no more room, so I let Carla get that cool. She chose the most expensive thing to take for free. It was so fucking funny. It was that like ebony statue. It was so hilarious that they just let her have that.
Well, I mean, you did spend a ton of money.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
not wasn't that crazy.
it's crazy the barter culture there because like
Oh,
They
it's
will
going back
deal-
to
it's-
it's flea
so
market
cool.
rules.
Mhm.
It's
Dude,
it's
it's
what
so cool.
it's what I grew up doing, which I was like, I love that. Like it's a like as far as people coming to the U.S., it's like an immigrant mentality to like
Yeah.
really negotiate and haggle everywhere you go. But like when I was a kid, I grew up going to flea markets and I grew up going to antique shops and places where people accept buy things with like commissions in mind, and like in terms of like the people selling. So there'll be somebody who's not there and they're selling something, through this shop. And so you can go there and you can barter with people and, deal with things. And my dad, when I was a little kid, he used to make me do that with like adults when I was, like 9 or
Yeah.
whatever. So I'd always have to talk people down in price. And I like was really nervous about doing it, but I like really look back on that as super good for me.
They
Yeah.
like expect
I mean,
you
it's,
to.
Yeah, over there they do.
we've also used it multiple times. The dresser that we have right now is
Yeah.
Oh, that's when Haggle Dave came out.
yeah.
You're like, well, we'd have to call
Old
the guy,
haggle,
and I go,
old haggle
call him.
Dave.
Yeah. I remember the deal that I got for everything when I left. I couldn't believe it because that chess set was $400 and I got it for $75
Oh yeah.
God.
because I bought
I
like
can't remember.
10 other things.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you
true.
also have to keep in mind that, like, when you're at a place like that, the person that you're with, like Kadek, he'll
Yeah.
take a percentage. He's taking you to a place. He has a deal with a shop in Bali, and he takes you there specifically because they have a relationship, and then he takes a cut of whatever. So he's like, like everybody's trying to get you to buy something.
I bet he's also like when he took us to like different restaurants, he's like, I brought these people here, so you have to pay me. And he just like
Yeah.
makes them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. Like, like we had somebody with us who was like,
I mean, he's
kind of like taken aback by that. Like he was taking a cut of everything. I'm
yeah,
like,
but he
good
was also
for him.
translating and showing us places that we wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to find otherwise.
Yeah, I was like, I actually like that he's that. Like
He should.
that's good. Like it's
We're
nice to
not
have
paying
some
him.
sort of hustle. He lives in
It's
Indonesia.
the same
give it
exact
to him.
thing as if you hire a tourist agency to book a trip for you and they take a little commission on all the places they book you to go. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Except
asked.
for he was really nice and he was fun and
He's
he translated
great.
for us.
I loved him.
and he brought us Balinese
Dude, he still reaches out to me on holidays and says hi. He's like the nicest
really?
dude.
Yeah,
He's like he had occasionally said stuff to me like through Instagram about like Happy Mother's Day and congrats on like the boys and stuff.
Yeah.
one of the somebody asked if we had any weird fruits. We didn't really have any weird fruit that I remember, but we did have that poop coffee.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
we had the durang, the fruit that smells like absolute shit.
Durian.
Durian.
There it is.
But you
That's
can have
funny.
that here.
Yeah, but I've had that here. I didn't even eat that in Bali.
We had really good dragon fruit from that one market we went to.
But that poop coffee was that
That
was like
poop
that
coffee.
was like the weirder thing that we did is we went and got
Dude.
what's the animal? It's like a barang. What is it? What's the
I
thing that
was
eats
telling-
I always wanna say
it's a fruit?
yeah,
and
yeah.
then poops it out and then you brew
I
the
always want to
poop.
say like capybara, but I know that's not what it is because that's like one of those big
It's
hamsters.
a coffee bar.
Just
It's a coffee
huge.
It's a capybara.
Yeah.
just huge poop.
Dude, the
Yeah, and
whole
it
way to
wasn't
the
even
poop
that
coffee. The whole way to the poop coffee, I was like, guys, it's gonna taste like terrible. And everybody was like, dude, come on, it's gourmet. It has to be. I'm like, no, it's gonna taste awful. And then it just tasted awful.
Yeah, it wasn't good. At least I like it. Poop. Like the poop thing doesn't freak me out at all.
No,
Yeah.
it was just like very acidic.
Yeah, it was just very like whatever. Like it,
I still can't believe the like Starship Enterprise Dunkin' Donuts they had there, where it was like, we have Dunkin' Donuts where I live everywhere, and they're just all trash. And we go there, and there's one on the whole fucking country, and it's like, hello, welcome to Dunkin' Donuts. Everything's like an LED touch screen, and like, there's
Perfect.
like 50 flavors of donuts that don't even exist here. And it's like, what
Yeah, I
is
was gonna say,
happening?
isn't that where you guys had durian too? Like,
Yeah,
you
we
guys
had a durian
donuts, didn't
donut.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind that stuff. I don't mind durian. It's just
I
the
also
smell.
think it's funny because I grew up with durian. Like, it's not. It's exotic because I have a white dad, so I understand the difference of like this isn't just normal, but like it's also way more normal because we saw it fairly often. My mom really likes durian too.
Yeah.
Gotta go back someday.
Somebody
See the
asked,
rest of the island.
Dave, is it true one time you ate too many cashews?
It is true.
Yeah.
Don't
It's very
force
true.
don't force these stories
true.
out of me.
It is true.
But yes, it's very true. And if you diet and eat a lot, like my brother was basically saying, like, you got to get fats like from something. Like if you're gonna diet and whatever. And now, like, I didn't have a plan or nutritionist or something. I was just like, I'll just find a way to get fats. I was like, you can get fats from cashews. So I ate a bunch of cashews, but I wasn't eating like a balanced diet. So if you don't know, a really special thing happens when you diet and then eat a bunch of cashews. The oil from the cashews just leaks out of your body.
Seeps out.
Just comes
Yep.
out. You don't
It's
even
like a
have to
cheesecloth.
fart or nothing. Just comes out of you. That was shocking. I was like, this must be what it's like when you're old. And stuff just falls out.
Hmm.
Lewis Whitworth
So,
said,
yeah.
my dad used to take me to a German festival here. He'd put a giant fake Viking wig and beard on me and send me off to ask strangers, will you shave me? Because it made him laugh.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
That's
good.
a wild thing to do.
Now I know why you want to celebrate Hitler's birthday. I get it.
I
The
remember
fruit
when I
that's
was a
meant to
kid.
smell like a dead body. Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, my dad took us to the Cranberry Festival, and he made cranberry barbecue. And people came up to buy it, and they said, "Where's the meat?" And he said, "No meat." And then he'd point at me and my brother, and he said, "Just a couple of pigs." And the people were so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't.
He really did that. The people were so uncomfortable. They were like, "Do we laugh at your fat children? Are they what?
Oh my
What's
God.
what?" Yeah. Yeah, and
That's
he
amazing.
just stared them in the eye until they finally ha 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 and just like laughed. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild times.
No meat, just 2 pigs.
Just a couple of pigs. Like Jesus.
That's funny.
I want to go back in time and tell that kid it's only going to get worse. I want to prepare him. I want to let him know. Oh man.
It's crazy how mean adults used to be to children when we were growing up.
Oh, it's fucking crazy.
My uncle used to
It's-
tell me to go play in traffic all the time. And I mean, that's not even that mean. They did pranks on us all the time. And my parents let it happen. These are their siblings that they're allowing to terrorize their small children and just like scare us like half to death. My aunt would come in and color all of our nails with permanent marker while we were sleeping.
Oh my god. Hell yeah.
She'd dump ice on us in the shower. Yeah, it was crazy.
The classic for like being a boy growing up here was they would do the Pinewood Derby, and the dads would get way more into it than the kids. And if you lost and the kid was upset, the dad would be like, "Don't fucking cry, shut up, don't fucking cry." And it's like the kid's not crying because he lost the Pinewood Derby. He's crying because you're shaking like you're gonna fucking explode like a pressure cooker about a wooden car.
Isn't that one of the wilder things about being a kid in the wild? Like when you're that age and you're going over to like a friend's house and spending a lot of time over there for like the first time ever, and you get to see your friend get in trouble with their parents and what that looks like.
Yeah.
Those are like the weirdest, most uncomfortable situations. Like finding out that like my friend's dad's and so mean. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, oh no. It was so scary.
I
Also, like expectations of other houses too.
Like, I never had a dog growing up. We couldn't because my mom was like super allergic, and like I would love visiting friends that had dogs because I always wanted one. But I had this one friend who had this huge Great Dane, and the poor thing, they wouldn't let it outside, they wouldn't let it run around, they wouldn't let it play. It was like the size of a pony, and it would just sit on the dog bed in the living room, and every time it stood up to do anything, the father would just go at the top of his lungs, and if it didn't sit, he'd throw something at it. And I was like,
Oh my
every night I stayed the night at this kid's house, I'd wait till everybody fell asleep and I'd sneak upstairs and like play with the dog because I felt so bad for it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they would never, Dave knows what I'm talking about, but they would never, ever let the dog be a dog. And if it did anything, it was just screaming at it. It made me feel awful.
I mean, I remember the first time I like I started hanging out with Dan a lot, and we like I went to Dan's house and his mom had like a loose bird. And I remember thinking like, what the fuck? Like Dan just has a loose bird in the house. Like it's just flying around. And it wasn't like
Like
a
what's normal
nice,
to other people versus like.
yeah, it wasn't like a nice bird either though.
No,
Like
the bird
it just
fucking sucked.
like I was in Dan's living room, and Dan has this like in the center of Dan's living room, or well, not in the center of his living room, but just it's not like up against a wall. There's a fireplace, like a central fireplace. And one time the bird just flew up behind me and started biting the back of my neck.
No.
Over and over, and I just collapsed to my knees and I went, ah! And I grabbed it with both my hands and I threw it at the brick fireplace, and it just smashed against the
Yeah.
face. I didn't know it did.
That
I thought
bird
it like just going nuts on me.
That bird fucking sucked.
That made me so
my
mad
God.
because I always knew like you know you get that feeling like I could get attacked.
Yeah.
Just nobody's watching this bird. And then when it happens,
I almost killed that bird on accident in the best way. Or I was home from school sick and the bird was out, and like sometimes the bird would be chill, very rarely, and it would like sit on your shoulder and stuff and just like, yeah. I remember being home sick, just like Maury and Judge Judy, like horrible home from school sick day.
yes.
And I went to get some ice for my fucking ginger ale, and when I came back in, I started hearing like, I was like, what the fuck? And I got up and I was looking around and I was like, where's the fucking bird? The bird must have jumped off my shoulder into the freezer before I closed it. And it was in there for like a good 5 minutes going like, just like, so I opened the door to the freezer and it's just sitting there and like shaking, and I'm like, that you deserve every second of this. Fucking miserable creature.
Man, that bird sucked so
Yeah, that
bad.
bird was
Didn't you guys
pretty
always
awful.
have animals though?
My mom was like the weird lady that everybody took like found animals to. Like
Yeah.
we always raised.
Yeah, I remember
like,
you
we had-
telling me that. I remember. I mean, even recently, she had a turtle recently, didn't she?
Yeah, she still does.
Like-
I mean, we had pet raccoons. I had like 4 raccoons, like 2 sets of 2 when I was a kid.
So
We had squirrels.
That's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. I was gonna say
Wait.
the first time I ever saw a baby raccoon was at not Dan's house, but what's your Betsy's house?
Yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah, we
multiple
had
people.
pet
You know,
raccoons.
though, this needs to be a question on Are You Garbage? Do you or have you ever owned raccoons?
Raccoons.
Does anybody? That's like
Dude.
specifically. It's so niche, but it's
Dude,
like
dude.
that's so trash.
Wait, not
It's so trashy.
not a raccoon, but my neighbor across the street, Jocko. He had a pet squirrel that used to just like live on his shoulder and
Oh
run
yeah,
around
no,
him.
that's trash.
And then Jocko would go into our backyard and poop in the woods.
Oh yeah.
And he did that multiple times.
Dude,
And we were just like,
raised
Jocko,
so-
don't poop in our yard. Jocko!
I've raised so many squirrels, so many chipmunks, so many ducks, so many baby birds. The weirdest one, it didn't last more than 2 days. That's super sad. Was a baby deer that we found.
Oh.
That's sad.
Remember that,
Remember
Dave? Yeah. Yeah, that thing was so cute. But
Didn't we
it had
find
been-
it? Or I
You
forget.
found it? Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
It just-
JP said, I remember when Dave set up for random people to send him videos of them saying happy birthday to you, just to see if you'd be confused. I was very confused. My birthday video for when I turned 30, my 30th birthday.
Yeah, maybe we should play that on the stream.
You
I don't think
should.
anybody's ever seen that.
It's so funny.
Yeah, let me pull that up. That's a good one.
I forgot you did that. That was actually really funny.
Speaking of like trash and how mean people were to kids, because I'm going back to that. When I remember being really little, and we went to my dad's friend's house, and his friend was like real trashy, and he had a very good looking son, think Sandlot main character, and he was like a little bit older than me, but I think younger than my brother. And we had to go play with him, and he was really nice to me. I think I like fell, I slipped and I fell because we were in the basement. I fell on concrete, and he like helped me up and made sure I was okay, and he was like very caring for being like a young boy. But then his dog came down, and he was like, I guess she like tried to jump on me or something. I don't know what happened. But he was like, he said, "Get down, stupid bitch."
Oh, yeah.
Get down. And then he goes, and then he sees how scared I am, and he just started cussing, but he was just so gentle with me. and I remember he looked at my face, and he was like, "Oh, that's what her name is."
Oh, man.
I was like, what?
A dog name.
They
bitch.
named their dog bitch.
Stupid bitch.
I know, that's the best part, is that he was calling her stupid. So yeah.
Chicken Strike
But that
says, "Hey
was, like-
Dave." Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Chicken Strike says, "Hey Dave, I'm going to Boston next weekend. Where's the best place to get a chicken parm sandwich?"
Is it still open?
It's not a chicken parm sandwich, but one of my favorite like chicken cutlet sandwiches. It's basically a chicken parmesan sandwich. It's at this place in North End. What was the name of it? It begins with an M. It's like Monica's or something like that. The
restaurant, the nice
no,
one?
the sandwich shop where we got the amazing chicken
Oh
cutlet.
shoot!
It's an Italian woman's
I have
name,
it
I think.
favorited in my Yelp.
Kim will find it.
Okay, I'll find it.
But yeah, you gotta go there. Oh, hey, I found the birthday video.
Okay, you gonna play it for everybody?
Yeah, let me pause this Donkey Kong thing because nobody ever saw this. So, this
Talking
was
about Monica's Mercado?
yes.
Thanks.
There you go.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I remembered it.
It's a great
Why
store.
did you find that so fast?
I was trying to remember if it was the place that's a store that also sells subs. And I
Okay,
think that's the one you're talking about.
you guys
think
won't be
so.
able to, Kim and Dan, you guys won't be able to hear it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna play it so you guys can I don't know, watch
Be
something else.
silent. Yeah.
I'll just make eye contact with the camera.
Okay, let me turn this up. Yeah, so this video, just to kind of give some context to this, it's for Kim's 30th birthday. So I got a bunch of, the idea was I'm gonna do a bait and switch. There's a whole party with tons of people. They don't know who we know. So I was like, I'm going to make a happy birthday video for Kim where everybody says like a little short thing about her and, says happy birthday and all that. So it's funny because Kim will question it. Like, I don't know what's going on. But
I was crying, and everybody thought I was crying because I was so touched and so moved. But I was crying because I was laughing so fucking hard. I'm like, who are these
nobody
people?
else knows that you don't know anybody. In
People
this
are
video.
just saying these like super sentimental things about me, and everyone else around is like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And there's like a couple that were like really fucking weird, and my family's like, "What the fuck are these? Like, who are these people?" Like, and I'm like, "I don't know," so I'm crying.
All right, so they're gonna chill for a second, and I'm just going to play this video, and I'll comment on it as we go.
Happy birthday, Kim.
There's Dan.
Happy 30th birthday, Kim. We miss you.
Dan's
to
mom.
The Old Timers Club.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Eiley.
Hey Kim, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Here's
Sorry I can't
Kai.
be there.
Itaki.
Have a good one. See ya.
So we're still in the realm of we know who this is. That's a random lady.
Birthday, Kimmy.
That's my brother and sister-in-law.
Enjoy your birthday as a mummy to Axel. We can't wait to see you guys soon.
We love you, Kimmy.
And then here's where people from Twitter come in.
You and my mom have been friends since Hinckley High School, and you used to fill out our prescriptions, and you've just been a dear friend to me and my family. And I just
Gave
wanted
people
to
some
hope you have
clues
a great birthday.
into what Kimmy does for work. There's another person Kim knows.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to
You're putting.
Hey, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for your 30th birthday, Kimmy.
Another stranger.
You know, I was a patient at the hospital. You really helped me out. And happy birthday.
Happy 30th birthday, Kim. Maybe this is something you don't know about me, but I also considered being a foot model in my time. So we both share the blessing of beautiful toes.
This is
Great
Miles.
day.
Miles Art, you know him.
Kim, we love you. Woohoo!
Did you know that your estrogen drops when you hit 30? HBD, bro.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Kimmy Raposa.
The diabetes
wow,
guy is
30
my
years
father.
old. Well, congratulations. I mean, maybe one of these days you'll still be a gymnast. You never know. But anyways, that's great. So, sorry. Happy birthday.
Hey, what's up, Kimmy? Happy 30th. I'm really sorry I couldn't be there. I want to say thank you for helping me out. When I dislocated
strangers.
my shoulder and you told me that
Did
you
you
thought I was
say,
being really stupid. I'm really sorry I couldn't be there. Happy 30th. Peace and love.
Okay.
Happy
Birthday!
Kimberly.
Random family.
We love you.
30th birthday.
I'll skip
to my
this
very
one
best
because
friend
this
and
one's
one
more
of my favorite
personal.
people
This is
in
a
the
real
entire
one.
world. I'm so excited to start another decade.
All right, let's go here.
We've
Now
always
it
lived our
starts
lives
to
in
get to.
parallel, you know,
So this
from-
starts to get to people who I paid money to talk to. So this is strangers and others. But
Dude, if
this
guy
first
went-
one I gave prompts to. So listen to this one closely. You ready? What were you gonna say, Dan?
I was saying I forgot I went to a dog park and paid people dollars to fucking record things for you. A couple of these are people I remember from the dog park.
Okay. So this next person isn't that. This next person is just a person from one of those, whatever that site is. I forget.
Not Vimeo. It's
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
But-
Okay. Cameo.
Okay, ready?
So you don't know me, Kimmy, but I follow you on Instagram, and sometimes I actually follow you to work. So I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Hey Kimmy, happy 30th birthday from everybody here at Chippendales. We got our Chip, Pat, Dimitri, and Zach. Wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hope everything's going well and have a great year.
Hey.
Wait. So I wrote little prompts to all these people about what Kim's been going through. And that first one, that dude was so uncomfortable to say that he follows Kim to work. Hey Kimmy, you don't know me, but I know you. I follow you on Instagram, and sometimes I follow you to work.
Chippendales dancers.
All right. Anyway, this guy had a great prompt. So you listen to this one.
Hey, Kimmy, what up? Happy birthday to you. 30th birthday. That's so
Did you
dope.
see Brad?
30s are dope. My 30s were great. I'm still in them. I got one more year left. Congratulations on finally getting released out of prison. Stay out of there. Calm down. I heard y'all here assaulting people and shit. Even if they did deserve it, keep it cool. Much better on the outside. Good to have you out here. Thank you so much for supporting and everything. Shout out to Dave. Yeah, happy 30th birthday. Peace.
So I told that guy that Kim had just gotten out of prison.
For assault. Right?
Yeah, for assault. But it was on the other party. Yeah, anyway.
And then I'm getting out.
Let's keep going.
But I was still.
Hey, Mama, it's me, baby
Oh, this is
Axel.
me.
I just wanted to leave you a very special happy 30th birthday message from your boy. and just say I hope that you have a great day, and wow, how the time flies.
Hello, Kimmy. It's me, Santa, coming to you live from the North Pole with this very special message just for you.
So
Now,
scary.
I just wanted to set the record straight. You didn't get any gifts this year because 30-year-olds don't get gifts from Santa. And especially those 30-year-olds that don't believe in me. Now look, I'm just as real as you are. Happy birthday, Kimmy. Ho, ho, ho!
Hey, Kimmy, it's me, your favorite Lord and Savior, Jesus, here to wish you the most glorious and heavenly happy 30th birthday. Praise be.
Kimmy, what's up? This is Sinbad. I want to wish you a happy birthday from Dave, husband, and he's saying something that I feel too, and I want you to listen to it. Don't just take it as men talking. I want you to listen to this.
Wait, just to give a little bit of context to this, Kim and I were once at a hotel, and we saw Sinbad, the comedian, for like a second, and I was like, go and say hi to him. And Kim was too nervous, so I randomly found Sinbad on Cameo, and I told him the story. Oh, and we keep playing it.
You should have come up to me. I was in the hotel in Oakland and said something, but you didn't. You let fear overtake you, man, and nervousness, and see what happens. We could have been friends. You and Dave and me, we could have been friends.
This is the
Tickets
best
for life,
birthday
that kind of
present I've
stuff,
ever
but
gotten.
It didn't happen.
Like,
So I hope on this birthday, on this 30th birthday, you change and you become that outgoing person that will walk up on not Kanye, don't do it to Kanye, but anybody else. All right, happy birthday.
Well, hello out there, Kimmy. It's me, your old friend
This is just
Winnie the
cute.
Pooh. And you know, I was just walking through the 100-acre wood the other day, and I ran into my dear friend Dave.
Winnie the Pooh.
And he said, you know, Pooh, it would be so lovely if you could stop and wish Kimmy a very happy birthday from Winnie the Pooh.
And then I'm going to skip
And
through
he's me.
to the end of
Well,
this
wait a
one.
second, of course,
So Kim's whole family is at this birthday party, like little kids, older people, all that. Anyway,
Friends.
It ends. So this is on a big screen in front of everybody. But anyway, it ends with this one.
Tigger 2.
Hey, Kimmy. Happy 30th birthday. And please, have some Reese's for your birthday. If you don't, I'll come after you, you fucking bitch. Anyways, Kimmy, me and Dave love you so much. You take care. Have some goddamn Reese's.
Anyway, that's the end. There was a lot more people from Twitter who submitted stuff, but the video was just getting so long. But anyway, yeah, that's also the real Winnie the Pooh.
Uh-huh. Or like the real voice
Is Dan
of.
still there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I hit the Benjamin too hard and went to Blinkerton.
Yeah, that was fun to organize and then edit.
I was telling people, I was like, yeah, Sinbad wished me a happy birthday. And they're like, no, he didn't. And I had to like show them the video. I was like, look at this. That random family, that one that Dave just happened to find a video of a family who also happened to be Asian wishing somebody named Kim a happy birthday. And he just like, it's like all, and they put their video on YouTube. It's just like
great. So good.
And it's some Asian family wishing
I literally
some Kim.
I literally just YouTubed Asian family happy birthday Kim.
That was
I
There you
found
go.
so many.
That was
I think I
Dave's
can only do this
revenge
joke
for
once.
was Dave's revenge for Kim throwing him a funeral for his 30th, which was also amazing.
That's true.
Where we get a headstone and a huge flower wreath and a black and white photo of Dave, and we all wore black and played
Well,
a
and it was a surprise. It was a surprise. You're at your funeral.
It was great.
Yeah, as soon as I walked into that one, whoa, this is real. This is very
Dave
real.
Dave didn't know I was in Colorado.
Oh, that was the best. So
It was
yeah,
so
Dan and I I was like organizing Dan coming in and everything, and he was helping me plan stuff, driving around, getting like party stuff, help set up with my cousin. And like Dan and we were going to get 30 doves to release.
Oh my God, the message. Yeah.
Yeah, tell it.
They were like, you're releasing them when? And I was like, at night for this party. And they were like, we can't do that. Like, I already booked it and put down like a $500 security deposit on it. And I was like, why? I just booked these doves. I need them. And they were like, we can't. I was like, why? And they're like, because at night, birds of prey will rip them to shreds.
Yeah, they're
That would have
roosting.
been the most incredible thing at my funeral.
They're roosting. They're not. Yeah. I know. And I was like,
just release a bunch of doves, and then all these owls come out and start tearing them to pieces.
They were like, they'll literally all die. And I was like, God damn it. That would have been the greatest part.
Yeah, they
going
didn't
to
let
the
us do that.
florist.
And then we were also considering getting a coffin, remember?
Yeah, I tried. I went to a few places to see if I could rent one, and they were like, we don't rent these. And I was like, please. So then I called carpenters, and I was like, how fast can you build me a coffin? And they were like, what are you talking about, dude?
Like, are you a vampire?
I was trying to find fucking all year round Halloween shops. I couldn't find it. Was just, it was great. Going to the florist lady, where I was like, I need all your funeral flowers you have. And she was like, when? And I was like, today. And like, once I told her it wasn't actually for a funeral and she dropped her standard, she like gave me a ton of good stuff. But yeah, it's so fucking funny.
When Dave was like very anti look at me, he does not like being the center of attention. So when I throw him birthday parties, he's like, it can't be like all on me. It has to be, it just has to be a party. So at this point I was like, I have to throw a party for you. It's your 30th birthday. It's like huge. It's huge. And my family does big birthdays. And I was like, he's going to hate it. I was like, so I'm just going to have a funeral for him. And I'm going to trick him into thinking that he's going to his own funeral. And then I had to in order to get my family to go along with it, I had to make it like real playful. Like, oh, R.I.P. to his 20s.
Yeah, because they're like, it's too fucking
But
dark,
I just thought it was fucking funny that we were gonna have a funeral. So I took Dan out too. I took Dave out. Dan is at the venue getting ready with my cousin. I took Dave out for dinner, and I was like, oh, I have your present at my cousin's house, and because I was wrapping it there, I didn't want you to find it, but she's actually out right now. She brought it so that we can just go pick it up. She's at this bar right now, whatever. So we drive over to this bar after dinner. And I was like, yeah, she's here. She has the present. Like, let's go in. This is it. This is the address. And through the like big windows, you see this like wreath with a memorial set up
with candles.
And like candles. And he's like, we can't go in here. I was like, no, this is the address. He's like, this is a funeral. We're not gonna walk into somebody's funeral. And I was like, come on, let's go. And then he goes, this is my funeral. And it's pitch black. And then everyone jumps out and is like, surprise.
Yeah.
And then even after we're like, happy birthday, Dave was still like talking about how he had to tell himself that he wasn't dead because it was too surreal. Like we had this like slideshow playing of favorite memories.
Oh my God, Kim.
And a guest book.
Kim, do you remember our phone started blowing up because I put the photos up of the wreath and people were like, when did Dave die?
Yes.
Started getting messages at the party because I put it up and I was like, goodbye, friend. And I started getting all these messages. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened to Dave? Oh my God, he's like in his 20s.
Yeah.
So
that
fucking
was
funny.
Oh my
I mean, that
God.
says a lot about what we did, though. They thought that wreath with the black and white photo of him looking up at the sun was real.
Dude, I thought it was just like...
Dave thought it was
like,
real.
What do you think? Like, oh, this is my surprise party in the funeral home.
Yeah. Everyone's wearing black. I got everyone to wear black.
So fucking funny.
I had like black, basically decorations everywhere, a little bit of food. But do you remember, what was I going to say? There was a guest book. People would write their favorite memories or something of you, right? Mm-hmm. What was the other thing? Oh, I did like little boxes for you they were in the shape of a coffin.
Yeah.
That was the
Yep.
coffin that I did have.
Dude, talking to that guy at the funeral home about renting the coffin that morning with like no coffee in my system was one of the funniest experiences of my entire life. Where he's like, we can't do that. And I was like, why? I was like, I'll give you $1,000. Let me rent it. Just please. And he was like, I legally can't. And I was like, why? And he's like, because then if someone buys it, I have to say that it's pre-used. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I guess that's true, huh? Yeah.
Oh my
It's so
God.
fucking dumb. He's like, I have to say someone bought it and returned it. Like, that's amazing, dude.
We should have just
that's
gotten one.
great.
We should have stolen one, Dan.
We should have just found a way. I did call carpenters and they were like, I can't build you one today. And I was like, please, come on.
Yeah, cowboys did it all the time.
Well,
Please.
it was funny because it was such a big part of what we wanted. I was looking at venues and going, I don't think I can fit a coffin in there, so I don't think we can. Like, I don't. The way it was set up, it was like a bar. Like you can rent out like the bottom of a bar or something. I was like, I don't think I can bring a coffin down those stairs. Like that's how much that was a part of the plan, was to have a coffin.
We tried looking
that
for
it dictated
hearses.
the venue.
We tried looking for hearses, and then Kim was like, maybe we should get an urn. We were like, fuck. Like we were trying to rent a hearse. I was trying to get the guy to let me rent the hearse on short notice for all fucking day. Yeah.
Stupid.
It still worked out great, though.
It'd be really cool though
It
if
was fun.
I went in there and the whole family came out and then everybody just beat me to death.
Would have been good.
Just like,
I think the only thing that I actually am bummed about, because like the coffin was like big idea, but it's more like aesthetic, was the doves. Because
The doves.
yes, like do you have experienced something that
Dude.
dumb?
30
in
doves.
Memoriam of yourself
Especially
while you're still alive.
if they got
That's
torn
like us
to
coming out
shreds.
singing P. Diddy.
Yeah, especially if they got torn to shreds by owls in front of us. Fuck me, dude. I would have been so happy.
Actually, isn't the video, the slideshow that we made, didn't we put the P. Diddy song over top of that?
I think we did.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'll be missing you.
Where he comes out and he's like dancing.
In the full white
But he's like
outfit.
doing a terrible spin dance. It's so
It's one
bad.
of the best. It's iconic.
Sitting there waiting for you guys to show up.
up.
Talking to Kim's family, waiting for them to show up was also really funny. Kim's dad's like, so this is kind of dark, huh? I'm like, yeah, yes. So is this like an inside joke? Like, no.
Yeah.
That's a
Just
good
a
point,
regular
Alec
joke.
Hamilton. If we all ignored Dave at the party and pretended he was a ghost and just talked about him in third person, that would have been great. It's a good idea.
And I was just one of the like ghosts of future past.
Well, Wolverine.
present. I'm guiding you through this.
A ghost of future past. Yeah.
That's why I could talk to you, but you're actually dead. I'm just
Did we give-
guiding you through this experience.
Did we give eulogies?
No.
No, didn't
We
go
should
that
have done.
far.
That would have been funny.
I
I think
don't
that's what
think
the
my-
book was for. The book was kind of for that.
Yeah.
memories.
Well, and like I said, I had to make it cute, and I was like, "R.I.P. to my 20s," and then I made like little gift bags, like party favor bags, and it was like all of Dave's favorite candies, like in memoriam of him.
So funny.
I did this to Dan in high school. I made a.
What
like,
wasn't
back
it
when,
for
like-
a birthday? That was
No,
just the thing you did.
I'm saying that it was. No,
That
I'm,
was just
I'm
like a
talking about
Tuesday.
Yeah.
the death part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
You want
for
to tell
his
this from my
birthday.
perspective or from
Yeah, but
your
I'm saying
perspective?
that I
'Cause from my perspective, it's way funnier. I woke up in my apartment in New Bedford, and like my phone was ringing, and I answered the phone, and it was Dave's ex-girlfriend crying, and I was like, "Hello," and she was like, "You're alive?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What happened?" She was like, "Oh, have you gone on Facebook?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "You're okay though?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" And she was like, "What? Why did Dave put that thing up?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Calm down." So I was like, "I'll call you back." And then I went on Facebook, and there was this post with hundreds of comments, and it was a slideshow Dave made saying goodbye to me because I had died unexpectedly. And he just put it up online on just a random day that had no significance. And so many people had called me. Oh, yeah, that was just great.
What was the song?
I think it's still on
Halen
YouTube.
Song.
I think it's still on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how to find it. Oh, that's still.
What
funny
was
to
the
me.
song? Fuck.
It's one of those stupid slow Van Halen songs.
Oh yeah. Was it Why Can't This Be Love?
I think so.
Yeah. Why can't this be love? Oh, it was definitely from Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Oh no.
Yeah, that. I used to do stuff like that all the time.
So fucking funny.
I always wonder, like, what you thought of me as a
Weren't
friend back then.
Were we convinced our friend Justin that your dad died?
Yeah, I do.
And it just wasn't true.
It was just such a. Well, I liked the weird lies, the lies that went on for way too long that everybody was in on. Just to fuck
Why
with
did we
somebody.
ever think that was funny? I still don't get
why.
why.
It was funny because he was very sensitive and kind about it. That's what made it funny when we were kids.
The punchline is hurting a good person. Yeah, okay. Oh no, dude! The look on his face when you told him it wasn't true was like it just hurt.
Oh.
He was like, "Why would you do that?"
Riley said about Dave making people think that Dan is dead. Riley said making somebody's loved ones panic. A classic
Dude.
prank.
A classic.
Listen, when you're young, it is a prank.
That classic.
So many people thought it was real. It was so fucking funny. So many people.
I need to see if it's Why Can't This Be Love?
I think it is.
Why can't this be love? How does it go?
It's got what it takes. So tell me, why can't this be love? Straight from the heart. Yeah, it's fucking.
Oh, I thought you were
lame.
gonna keep singing.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, it is that song.
Just imagine a slideshow of Dan with the rest in peace to this.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm listening to it right now. It is funny.
Dude. Waking up to that with all the missed calls on my phone, I had to call back 30 people and be like, "I'm alive." Don't worry about it. It's all good.
It's still making me laugh. It really, it was Why Can't This Be Love?
Yeah, I thought so.
That's why
Which is
it's one of those things where you're just so in your own head that you think everybody else will know it's funny because it's that
Also,
chose that song.
That song has special meaning to us because for years the only CD that my car would play was Van Halen's Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and we had to listen to it on road trips because it wouldn't play any other CD. So yeah, we didn't even like that album. We just had to listen to it, or it's that or the radio.
That's one of the few albums I've listened to hundreds of times
Yeah,
because of your
we
fucking
had
car.
to. Because any other CD had an error code that said E20.
No, you
E20.
couldn't. You just couldn't eject it.
You couldn't do anything.
It was that album was locked in Dan's car,
It was a
like the
6
heart
CD
of the car.
changer, and it was the only one of the 6 CDs it would play, and you couldn't eject any of them.
But every time Dan started up his car, it'd be the same song on blast. What was that one?
Pound Cake, the first song on the album.
Every time he started his
I
car.
love my baby's pound cake. Did it. Come on, and that's one. Just every single fucking day for 2 years.
I remember when it's like a good it's like one of those good repetition jokes where like it gets annoying after the third one, and then when you get to number 10 it's funny again.
Yeah.
That's all it was to me. It's like that album became like a hilarious album. It's not actually funny at all. It's just very specific that every time Dan turned on his car, he'd be miserable, and that song would be blasting.
It's
really funny.
Yeah, that was a dark time. That was a very dark time.
It's like Knight Rider. It's great. It
still
sounds like its
wonder-
own voice.
I still wonder if our friend was a murderer. You know what I'm talking about?
Get specific.
I'm trying to see how vague I could be if you catch what I'm talking about. We had a friend who wouldn't let us open a freezer in his basement. He was
Never.
like
You'd be like hungry at night and sleeping over there, and you go to like open it, like maybe there's hot pockets in here. Get out of there! Hey!
What are you doing? He'd like stand in front of it with his. What are you doing? We're just looking for food. There's food upstairs though. What are you doing down here? We're like, there's nothing upstairs. We already looked. What? You can't just come in. You have to ask permission to come in. You can't just come in.
Just bodies in there.
Can you please tell me the initials?
Yeah, DC.
DC.
Oh, I could have guessed.
Yeah, it was like it's a freezer. You're not hiding porn in it. So like, what is
Yeah,
in
what's
there?
in there, dude? You're
What's
drawing
in
too much
there?
attention to it.
What do you? What's happening? It can't be food. That makes no fucking sense. Like what?
I've never heard this about him before.
Dude, that was one of the weirdest.
That's crazy.
reoccurring things. One of the
Yeah, it was
strangest reoccurring things.
But that
There's a
makes
point-
so much more sense for all your other stories of him becoming like an alcoholic.
Dude, there was a point he put like a bike lock on it. I was like, this is insane, dude. Like what?
Wait, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what I remembered last night? I was talking to Kim. That time we were in New Hampshire, and it was me and you and Dave and Matt, or John Jones maybe.
Dave and Matt.
I think no, it was Dave and Matt. And we got lost, and we pulled over to get directions, and it was on my side.
Yep.
And I had the window down, and I had the guy come over to the car, and I was like, "Do you know where to get to blah blah blah?" And then he goes, "Well, first,
Yep. Yep.
and he goes, "You take a right, just in my face."
Like
And I was just, God bless him. I hope he's all right. Nothing against any disability, but having to watch that unexpectedly, be blindsided by that, and just have to stare at him and not laugh for like
And our friend Matt's in the back
7
with his
minutes.
mouth open, just going, just
Dude.
trying not to die.
I felt like the V for Vendetta guy after he gets shot a bunch. He's just walking around still. That's how I felt. I felt like my whole body was just riddled, just after like having to take that in without being able to laugh. Like I was like convulsing.
That was the same trip as the Whipple tree.
Yeah.
JP says, I remember Dan telling a story about someone slipping a letter under a door, but I can't remember what it was about. That wasn't a letter. That was a fully rendered pencil portrait of me that a girl drew that she slipped under my door after I told her I didn't want to see her again. And then after 30 seconds, she ripped it back out from under the door because she had second thoughts. She didn't know that I saw her do it, and she still doesn't to this day. That was
so wild.
Fucking insane to see a giant pencil drawing of yourself slide through your front door looking at you, and then stand perfectly still because you don't want the person out there to know you're home, just in your boxers with like the refrigerator light, and then after 30 seconds have it get ripped out back under the door and hear them run down the hallway. Like, no.
Hey, you know, this reminds me of like you just said boxers, trying to make believe nobody's there.
Yeah.
When I was at the old apartment and somebody knocked on the door a bunch, And I just didn't get up, and I was like going to the bathroom or something. But I was basically like, maybe I got out of the shower and I heard knocking and I just didn't bother. Can't remember. But anyway, they just lit themselves into the house, and they were the maintenance people at the apartment, which I guess it's cool if they do that unless you say something. But they just came in, and I hid in the closet completely naked. And I watched them through a crack in the door to see when they left. And they were just walking around. And if they knew that within striking distance a naked man was hidden away in a closet peeping at them, they'd be pretty scared.
On those crime shows, are like, little did they know, 2 feet away in the closet, David watched in a cold sweat.
I just didn't want to.
They came to death.
I just didn't want to get dressed and like hurry up and whatever. And then I was just locked in there like Solid Snake. Man.
Oh
was
my
that
god!
our first
dude.
apartment together?
No, that was the Shea ones.
It happened then.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a hard one too, because that was like our door was like downstairs. That was the only thing that was downstairs, and we had an inside like staircase up to our apartment.
I didn't know where they were going because I was in this. So imagine you're walking from the bedroom into the bathroom. You go into the bathroom, and then you go from that bathroom into a walk-in closet. Mm-hmm. So I'm in that walk-in closet
as far back
and I don't know what these guys need. So the only thing I'm thinking is like, please, for the love of God, don't come into the closet and just find me. Just like find me being quiet in there. Just like how insane that would be if they just open the door and we're like, oh shit. Fuck. Dude. Run.
Crouching between the hangers.
Incredible, dude.
Yeah, that's like Blair Witch
funny.
staring at the wall.
It's literally the Bram Stoker's Dracula. Don't see me. Don't see me.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
God. Some good stuff. Some good stuff has happened.
Yes.
I still want to know what the fuck was in that freezer.
Do you think he was just hiding like his alcohol addiction?
No, because he drank in
Anyway?
front of us constantly all the time. It wasn't
Oh.
a secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally think it was like a control thing or something. Like if I find the most innocent version of it, it was like a weird sense of control.
Dude, no, there had to be something.
Our bodies.
There had to be something, dude. Like, I have a theory. I have a working theory. I don't want to cast
We'll be
aspersions
the judge
on
of
it.
that.
I have a working theory here, okay? I think maybe he stole one of his sister's underthings.
And kept it on ice. What do you
Listen,
mean?
listen, I don't know. He lived with 3 very attractive older sisters. I don't know what else he could have been ashamed of that he would have tried to hide that wasn't a dead animal. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be like a sexual thing, right? If it's not a murder thing, it has to be a shame thing. So if it's a shame thing, what would he have to hide in his own home? Like, that's the only place I can go. Like, unless he really did kill something and just keep it there, which is fucking crazy.
I used to do stuff like that.
I should
Your
reach out to his
dad?
mom and ask.
Your dad, Dan?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Cats?
he wasn't my dad though. Like,
That's not my dad. Starts to change
like
in front of you.
as weird as he wasn't that. Nobody's that.
Well, I mean, he literally put stuff in a freezer with dead cats. So
6 dead cats in a dead man's chest.
Right.
Yeah, and a bottle of Tums. I still can't believe he did that. I mean, I can, but like, Jesus. The fact that everyone in my family just looked the other way and was like, yeah, it's over now. He did it. We don't need to talk about this. Is like so wild. If anyone's ever read It, the Stephen King It, there's this weird thing he talks about where the adults, they don't see the clown, but they also refuse to see the bad things that are happening in the town. Like they look the other way when all these atrocities are happening, and it's almost like they either don't care or they don't even notice. And I feel like that's a lot of what that feels like. Just like, oh, what happened? No, that didn't happen. I didn't even see it happen. Like you were in the room watching it. No, not at all.
That's true.
Anyway.
When those clown dudes tried to abduct me and my friend, I'd like bring that up later and people be like, what? When did that happen? I'm like, what do you mean? That's a big memory. How could you forget your kid was almost abducted?
It's so crazy. It's just the stuff people just ignore when they just don't want to confront somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm trying to tie together all the weird loose ends with the DC stuff. It's like the absolute irrational anger at being portrayed as anything feminine. The freezer that we're not allowed to touch. The don't go on my computer ever. I'm just trying. There has to be like a binding thread of something.
I don't know.
That or he just really didn't want us to steal his Uncrustables, which could have been the case.
EJ Fudd says, has anyone ever had a UFO experience?
Who has?
That's That's a are you garbage question.
Me and Dave had a crazy one.
Yeah, we had like the wildest one. We saw, like we wouldn't say it's like, oh, look at all these flying saucers. It wasn't that. We were just at the beach and we thought we saw a planet in the sky because it was super bright at sunset. And we pointed over like, oh, look at that. And then as they're saying, look at that, it vanished. And then from one spot in the sky, just like one very specific spot, just light started coming out of it. And for like a long time doing like zigzag patterns through each other and combining into one and glowing. It was so weird. Like,
there were tons of them.
Yeah, I think we counted something like 46 or 7. It was like way up there.
Every time they would only move in straight lines and like right angles. And every time one disappeared, another one would reappear elsewhere. And like, we were like, is this like ball lightning? Is this like some weird like weather phenomenon? And like, thank God, like 15 other people showed up on the beach and were watching it with us, or I would have felt completely insane. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see stuff like didn't it happen over like Mexico City a couple of years ago?
Yeah. It's literally those videos. Every time you see those videos with the lights in the sky, that's exactly what happened. It was just, you don't even know what to call it, but it just happened.
Yeah, that was the closest.
The first time I heard this story was the first time I heard the term ball lightning, and I had never heard the term ball lightning so many times in one sentence. Like, there you go. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Didn't your dad have a weird experience with that thing called the red bug?
Oh, that's the coolest one. Yes. So this is something that everybody saw, not just my dad. And it happened all the time. It was like a neighborhood thing where the police were called on it like multiple times, and the police saw it and pulled their guns on it. So like there's a bunch of stories from this neighborhood in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where my dad grew up. And there was basically, they said it was the size of like a beach ball, and it was like a beach ball sized big red light that was just glowing and floating through the air. And it just would float, in front of cars and stuff, and like people would slam on their brakes or almost get in accidents or just swerve out of the road. But I heard all these kinds of stories. But anyway, so they go, I think like a while with seeing it, and then my uncle or somebody's coming home from work, and he's the one who swerves out of the way, and then my grandma comes out and is like, what's going on, because she sees this bright light. And then the other kids come out too, and it was like the one time where everybody saw it, and then the police were called on that, and they just could walk behind it as it floated down the hill. It's like a playground, and they just walked it around the neighborhood, which is very weird. But I've only heard that story like one other time. It was on some like Netflix UFO series where they interviewed people, and somebody specifically talked about a big red ball light. That's the only other time I've heard of that. That it like floats at low level.
There's another mass sighting in Plymouth where one day in the 70s, this cigar-shaped thing flew down low altitude over Route 3A, and all the cars turned off. Like, it shut off all the transmissions of all the cars, and then it went out into the ocean and just went under the water. And, like, it was in the papers, and like hundreds of people witnessed it, and like nobody has any idea what that was. But yeah.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah, that I feel like on the East Coast there's so many of those. Like, it's, like, I don't know. I mean, I know it's like kind of everywhere, but I just remember feeling like normal people saw UFOs.
I'm pretty sure everyone I know in this town has had an experience with some kind of UFO or cryptid.
Yeah, cryptids. Cryptids are up there. Yeah, if you live in a trashy area, it's like
With
the
a swamp.
chances skyrocket. It's like
You
you're
got
not
a
gonna.
swamp, you got a cryptid.
Like it's like exposure to cryptids is immediately linked to education. Like the more
so
cryptids
true.
you see, the dumber you get.
It's so true.
I wonder if that's a common thing. It just sucks the smart out of you. You see Bigfoot, you just go dumb. That's like you just immediately lose it. Yeah, but I chased Bigfoot through the woods in my house. Like with my, I mean, I made up this whole elaborate lie to this one. I was like a maniac when I was a little kid. I made up this whole elaborate lie to this one kid who was like older than me, and he was just on my bus about how I've seen a bunch of Bigfoot and like Bigfoot babies like running around with crystals. They get their power from crystals.
Hell yeah.
I even wrote a book about it, and I brought him out after school one day. I brought him out into the woods, and we just sat by the power lines, and I had to make believe like everything I told him was something I believed. And I just
gaslighting this kid.
And I remember us walking around and him going, "There's no Bigfoots." And you're like, "Yeah, dude, I know. Let's go." I told him there were some that were super fast.
There were some people here that were so convinced things were happening that weren't happening that ruined their lives. They were so desperate for this place to be like magical in any kind of way, it literally ruined their life. Like,
yes,
man.
Anybody who hunted the Illuminati.
Yes, that specifically. I'm trying to think in this one town alone, how many cryptids were there rumors of? There was Samson's turtle. That's a cryptid. There was the Thunderbirds in the swamp. That's a cryptid.
Thunderbirds.
There were the...
yeah, I remember looking for those.
It wasn't a Sasquatch. It was like a mini Sasquatch. Remember what I'm talking about? It was
Skunk
like a
ape.
small... Yeah. That. There's that. There was what they called grandfather in the state forest that they thought was a missing link. That was like some huge Irish deer, some like ancient species of deer that was like 10 feet tall. There's that. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah. Fuck. What else? Oh, the black thing in Plymouth that the pilgrims wrote about that everybody says they see that like slithers on the shallow stuff and sucks people into the water. What else? There's like 10 cryptids in this one area.
What else? All you're covering is cryptids. If you
expand
if you widen that search to witches.
And ghosts, yeah. What about the rope factory or whatever?
Yeah, the Cape Cod where they can't keep a security guy there long enough to make it through like a couple weeks or something.
Yeah.
They see ghosts.
Yeah. Cordage Park.
There you go.
Anyone wants to look it up, Cordage Park in Plymouth is one of the most haunted places in the state, apparently.
Riley asks, any frog people over there?
I mean, I've seen a few.
Probably.
I mean, Dan and I were froggers.
We definitely were.
Hack those boys up. Catch them all.
Oh, my God.
Man.
The amount of cryptids in this one area. There's cryptids, there's ghosts, there's witches, and then there's curses.
There's the clowns in the bog.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I was believing a lot of that stuff because like as soon as somebody tells you something's possible when you're a little kid and you're out in the woods by yourself and you can like manifest stuff because you're just isolated and you're kind of scared and you're everything's heightened, and then you're like, that was that. I remember somebody telling me that there were Native Americans in the woods, like ghosts, and I was just like,
that's like the most common one here.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember just running home before the sun set completely and just thinking, I hear footsteps everywhere running with me. And I was just going faster. And I was like, no.
That's terrible.
It doesn't help that every inch of forest here is the battle site of some horrible slaughter. Like, literally every forester is like, oh, yeah, it's the state forest. And also 300 years ago, they wiped out 1,500 women and children. Like, what? Yeah, like literally every single place here has some horrible story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I still remember this guy that was just blackout drunk at one of Dan's. Well, I guess it was just a fire we were having one night with a bunch of people, and this drunk guy shows up, and we're at Dan's house, and this old man walks over, he sits down blasted, and he tells us about how he can harness his chi and use energy that moves freely through his body in nature to do incredible things. And he was and we were so excited, and we were all drunk too, just talking about it. And then he told us to meet us out at the lake at dawn to practice breaking cinder blocks.
To practice forming a chi ball and
just
using it to punch through bricks.
Just a fat white guy with a sleeveless shirt telling us this lore, just trash lore.
The secrets. Meanwhile, in the background, his friend's trying to cut down a pine tree with a katana.
And then we went out in the morning, and he just wasn't there.
Who was this?
Because his physical form died. He evaporated like fucking.
He became a tree.
Yeah.
Who was this?
He did
I don't know.
Obi-Wan.
I don't remember.
He
Somebody's
became the
uncle.
Force. Disappeared into the force.
What?
That's so funny.
Fucking amazing.
That's like the perfect kind of trash in that area. Is like that stuff. Stuff with like stuff where you start to bring in like ninjutsu. You're just further down the road. You're like, ninjutsu is the ultimate martial arts because that's ninjas.
The homeless guy Merlin who lived in the woods when I was a kid. Everybody called him Merlin. He lived in like a dugout foundation of some house that burned down way out in the middle of nowhere. And if you went there, he'd like give you things. You were like, if you like needed advice, he'd give you weird advice, and he always had like little antique bottles and like remedies and like old timey things. And then some days he just wasn't there.
Off on one of his adventures.
Like as an adult now, I'm like, oh, he's just a fucking drunk hobo. But like as a kid, you're like, oh, it's like incredible.
Holy shit, Merlin's out there.
What were you doing today, son? I was out in the woods with Merlin. Like, my parents were fine with that. They were like, oh, he's harmless. Oh, that homeless derelict who lives up here.
Merlin.
Tell him we said hi. So fucking fun. Dude, the fact that my childhood was grabbing a machete at like 8, 9 years old, taking a machete and like a bag of snacks and water, and just going out into the fucking huge state forest and just getting lost and running into fucking homeless dudes and stuff. And just like, that was like everyday life.
Yes.
Insanity.
It was beautiful. It was incredible.
Running away from bog people.
Bog trucks.
Yeah.
That was the most fun, having to jump ditches and stuff and run across fields. And this guy this guy can only go around the bog to get to you with some roads that cut through. So you're always
I am the woods. Yeah.
You're safe in the squares.
Your truck can't get in here.
I just like I remember thinking it was like really fun. You know, like in my head, I'm like playing like a cool like 80s song, like a montage of getting away from the police in a fun way. Except
I
it's like
remember
that
some
guy,
kid-
he's just like, I'm gonna kill these kids. Like I'm gonna actually murder them.
I remember at some point, this you might have heard this rumor too. I don't know how much crossover we had before I knew you, but there was a rumor that the bog guys who wore the beekeeping suits with like the creepy like headdress things, there was a rumor that they were putting stuff in the water. And it was like a government op. And they were like, yeah, I saw the fucking government agents go down to the bogs and put stuff in the water, and like they were in the creepy beekeeping suits. And I remember that was like a really big rumor. Everybody would spy on the bog people, like go out early in the morning and watch what they were doing, like hiding in the trees with fucking binoculars, watching the bog people treat the water to grow crops. Obviously now as an adult, but like as a kid, you're like, oh my god,
The bog people.
what are they doing? What are they doing to this town?
They're gonna kill us all. Set us against each other.
By the time
Yeah.
I got asked to dig up a grave by a kid with katanas and a sword threatened me.
Yeah. I think about like, dude, like when homeless people were in the woods. If I imagine it from their perspective, because they probably were still around because I'd go out every day, so I'd eventually run into their campsites with their stuff still there, and like to me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to like fuck somebody up. I'm a little kid in the woods, but to them, they see a little kid who stumbled upon their campsite, and I have a machete, maybe two. I have a bow and arrow with arrows on my back, like weapons.
Feral kid.
And I'm like going up to their fire and feeling the heat to see if they're still there.
Amazing.
Before continuing to hunt them, probably.
You're a homeless person tracker.
Just the devil in the woods.
So fucking good.
See how nuts that would be.
I like
Just
how
seeing that.
occasionally there'd be like a string of murders roughly in the area. And like you'd be outside as a kid, like, he's definitely here. Like, he's definitely in these woods with me right now. Like
Yeah, dude.
those feelings you can't describe.
The feelings of uncontrollable older kids being in your vicinity when you're in the woods by yourself
hiding, dude,
is
yeah.
fear. Like that's like the highest.
It's
of
literally
fears.
being a hobbit under the tree trunk with the ring wraith going over above you and staying perfectly still. It's literally that.
I mean, I told this story a bunch, but the one where I'm by the power lines and I have China, my dog, with me. She was a Chow mixed with a German Shepherd, so she was pretty intense, but a little like chubby thing. And I like get her into the woods because I hear dirt bikes are coming, and we're so far from home. And I'm like hiding up in the trees with her, and then they stop in front of us. I was just hiding. I was like, I hope they go by, whatever. So they stop in front of us, and then they all get off their bikes, and I'm just holding China next to me, and she's starting to growl, and I'm like, stop. Shh, shh, shh. And then all the dirt bikers pull out guns and they start shooting like targets at this like wall of sand. And like, you know, I'm just sitting there listening to like, brat, 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 brat. And I'm just, and China's like, woof, woof. And I'm like, don't, they're going to kill us. They're going to kill me.
Shut up.
But that feeling of being a little kid out in the wild and that happens is like, holy shit. It's just
the amount of strangers carrying guns I ran into as a kid was actually kind of wild. Now that you mention that,
yes,
everybody here had fucking guns. Jesus,
I've been shot at. Going through somebody's yard. Well, not at, they're like above.
Yeah.
But in your direction, and I feel like stuff like that happened a lot. And I remember being not lost in the woods, but just out in the woods, and then coming across like just a quiet man in a tree with a rifle. You're fucking up his day because he's here to hunt.
Dude, the people
and you're just in the woods.
The tree stands trying to hunt deer, and they think you're a deer for a split second. They're like, "What the fuck you doing?" You're like,
You're
"Oh,
like,
I almost
"What?"
got my head blown off." Like, okay, right.
I'm playing in the woods.
The best for me was always when you're walking around and it's like really, really, you don't realize how quiet it is. And then for some reason, one of those bog helicopters goes like right over your head, like 20 feet over your head. You're like, what the are you doing so low?
Dude, what I think is real funny is like those guys are always around. Those guys were always around the bog behind my house. It was like literally behind my house. And they would just like, I must have my whole childhood been blasted by pesticides.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just all over me, all over my family. But yeah, I remember thinking like, I'm going to make believe I'm like a James Bond character. So I would get on my BMX bike, and when the helicopter came around the bog, I would ride underneath it. Like try to get as close to it as possible to have like my own like dangerous escape scene in my head. Those guys must have been like, we're just killing this child with so much poison. What is he doing? It's crazy.
Do you remember how dramatic it felt when somebody would go missing and the town would like put together like a squad? Did you ever do one of those?
I never did, no.
Oh man, I've got some crazy memories of that. Of like walking through bogs with waiters with like a ton of adults when you're like an 8-year-old and everyone has like a torch or a flashlight, and it doesn't feel real. It feels like a thing that should only happen in movies.
Yeah.
People are holding like flaming sticks, walking around in a swamp at like midnight trying to find a kid. You're like, okay, this is reality.
Yeah, those are pretty gnarly. Yeah, I've only ever like maybe driven past something happening somewhere in the woods like that, like a big line of people. I don't even remember them happening.
Wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Dan's what was that story? Whatever happened to that demon house that had the sealed upstairs?
Still own it. Never got unsealed.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. For anyone, okay, so here's a real quick version for anyone who doesn't know. My parents own a lot of real estate, and they just rent it out. It's like a side thing they did in the 80s when houses were super cheap. And one of the places they bought, they got for like they were doing a bunch of work in the 80s in at Anheuser-Busch, the place with like the Clydesdales up in New Hampshire, Vermont area. If you saw any of the old Anheuser-Busch ads with like the factory with the barrels and the Clydesdales coming and going, that's where they were doing the floors and the boilers and everything. So they were commuting back and forth up there, which was like 4 hours each way. So they were like, it would actually be cheaper for us to just buy a house up here, which is insane to think about now that houses were that cheap. But they were like, it'd be cheaper to just buy a cheap place up here and let the workers stay there. So they bought the cheapest place they could find, which they didn't realize at the time at the point of sale was a former funeral home from the 1800s that had been converted. And they let all the people stay there. And the first night the guys went to stay there, they all left and went and got a hotel. And my parents were like, why? And they were like, there's something wrong with this place. We don't want to be here. It feels terrible. It's like cold and it just feels weird. We can't sleep. So we're like, okay, that's weird. So anyway, they do their work. They come back. We send up the next team of workers who had these two uncles. They're not actually my uncles. We called them my uncles, named Cor and Chong. We're Vietnamese people from the Hmong tribe, mountain people. Super nice people. Came over here. Super spiritual. Like super like afraid of like ghosts and demons and spiritual stuff. They did like rituals on the house to cleanse it and like burnt incense and like did all these cleansing things because they were like, we can't stay here. We just feel this awful presence and it's disgusting and we can't do it. And even after they cleansed it, they were like, we can't do this. We have to go get a hotel. We can't do it. So anyway, my father goes up there after that to check it out to see if there's something wrong with the place. And he realizes that there's a third room on the third floor that you can't get into from the house. There's a window for the room. Each of the bedrooms upstairs, there's 3 windows. The middle room, there's a window, and there's no room on the inside. So he went up with a ladder and looked inside, and there's a fully furnished room. It's a kid's room. It has a rocker. It has a bookshelf. It has a chair. Everything's in there. It's from like 100 years ago. Someone sealed it up in like the 20s or something. And from the other side, if you're walking down the hallway, there's a bedroom, a brick wall, and a bedroom. They walled it off, bricked it off completely. And when he's asking around about it, the people next door are like, "Oh, you're the room on the third floor," and he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, never open it." And he's like, "What does that mean?" They go, "Yeah, never open it. The previous owners tried to open it. That's why they ran out of here and had somebody else sell it. Never open that room. Really bad stuff happens when you open that. When you take that wall down, whatever's in there wants to be in there. Don't open it up to the rest of the house." And he was like, "What do you mean bad stuff?" And they're like, "We don't know what to tell you. Just don't open it." So he's like, "What?" So he just never did. He just never did. And nobody wants to live there. Nobody wants to live there. It's a temporary place for workers to stop in when they're in between jobs. That's the end of the story. We never opened it, and we've never gone through the window from the outside. And that place is just exactly the same as it always was. But yeah, really, really terrible.
That's pretty cool.
Still have it though.
Hey,
That's a
Dan,
live stream we should
do this thing. It's a trend on TikTok. Okay? Let out all of your air and then choke yourself and see what sound you make.
Like, when you say choke myself, what do you mean?
Grab your throat.
Like, squeeze it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what, like, try to talk while I'm squeezing it?
No, just like see what sound you make.
All right, ready? Let out all my air.
Uh-huh.
How's that? That sound about right?
Did he die?
What's going on?
What was supposed to happen?
Yeah,
what is
trend?
this? It's the trend that Dan goes.
That's supposed to sound like a trumpet? Like, what was it? What's happening? What was that supposed to be?
I think you just broke Kim.
What was that supposed to be?
I don't think she knows. She's just putting her hands out, shrugging.
Was it supposed to be like back before I had undiagnosed sleep apnea and Dave had to hear me go?
Yeah, that was wild.
Oh my god.
Kim, what's happening?
She doesn't know, Dan.
I just saw people doing it on TikTok.
I thought you made that up. I thought it was from some podcast.
No.
So what noise did they make? Was it like, was it some weird funny noise? Like, what was it?
I don't know.
Was it like a like? Can you give me some kind of noise it was supposed to be?
She's just crying.
Holy
shit!
shit!
She's not doing anything, Dan.
Kim's in Blinkerton. She hit the Benjamin too hard, and she went straight to Blinkerton. On God.
You guys, I can't. I can't.
Any questions in chat? Hi, chat. What's up? Kim's taking a short vacation.
No.
Right. Riley has a good suggestion. You should set up
You should set up
webcams.
webcams that look into the window of the demon room and just stream it. That's a pretty good idea.
That is.
It's a pretty good idea.
Put that in one of those like red rooms.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Is Kim okay? No. I'm not okay. If you missed the beginning, we all
hold on. I
cheers.
gotta look up this
And Edward.
TikTok strangle trend. Go ahead and Google this real quick.
Just add to the list.
Okay, hold on, Dan. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay?
You can just Google strangle trends.
TikTok challenge choking. What is the choking trend on TikTok? Also known as the blackout challenge, this dangerous stunt encourages internet clout seekers to asphyxiate themselves until passing out. Experts have warned that the viral trend is dangerous, resulting in fainting, brain damage, seizures, and worse.
That's not what.
Girl 12 years old dies after TikTok choke challenge.
What?
Friends
That is
encourage
not.
her. Kim, what are you doing to me?
That's not what
Oh.
Hey Dan, do that
I'm
one.
gonna look for it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
hold on.
Do that trend. It sounds cool.
Jeez. You sure it's not this one, Kim?
Okay, I'm sending it to you. Hold on. I found it.
Alright. You can send me an example of it or description.
I'm sending you the TikTok. You gotta watch it.
Okay.
TikTok strangle trend.
Jesus.
Oh man. Have you guys ever had Dragon's Milk Stout beer?
No.
It sounds like the setup for a joke, the way you just said it.
No, and then he said LOL. No, that was a question from the chat.
Okay, so she went, eh.
Yeah. Like it's just
Alright,
it's just
so,
supposed to be a funny noise. It's just supposed to be a funny noise. That's all.
Okay. I'll do that next time someone asks me to strangle myself.
I like TikTok strangle trend. Sounds like a Law and Order SVU episode.
Probably is.
That's like, yeah, that is like that heightened be afraid of everything.
It's where the edgy kid who looks like a Columbine kid is like, hey, do this cool viral trend. Let all the air out of your lungs and then start choking yourself.
And then shoot
Then
yourself
the kid
in the
starts
head.
doing it. He just grabs him and starts throttling him on the ground. Shouldn't have listened to me, Vanessa. Dragon's milk is strong. Yeah, probably. Haven't tried it.
That was about the beer.
The stout, yeah. I was talking about actual dragon's milk. Kim.
Oh, okay.
What?
Kim, you're in Blinkerton. You're the mayor. I did a choke type challenge in 7th grade or so. I was probably like 12 or 13. Exhale, and a buddy squeezes you from behind till you fall limp. Probably not a good idea. It's a 2-person one, so you can't re-inhale because they're squeezing your lungs shut. That's pretty good.
Very cool.
Very cool. Cool trends. Really good trends.
Oh, man.
No joke, that hit me so hard I fell asleep and woke up to your guys' laughter. Did you also do an Edward?
Me?
No,
somebody in chat.
Me?
Me? I did 2 Edwards. I'm Edward the Second. What up? I'm not feeling it though. I might have to be Edward the Third.
Dang, homie.
My goodness. I don't know what to do.
TTH.
I've been trying to paint this whole time.
Yeah, you're doing a pretty good job.
Oh, shit.
You haven't done that thing I know
You
you're
don't
gonna
feel
do
it,
yet.
Dan?
I mean, I feel loose. I don't know. I don't feel like high though.
Like what part of you?
Huh?
What part of you feels loose?
Like I don't feel like stressed at all. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. The walls are down. I'm just kind of like, not physically loose, just like loose.
Have you heard that song by Lil Nokia or whatever her name is? What's her
I love
Princess
Lil Nokia.
Yeah, little Nokia.
What did she say?
Did you call like the brand of phone Nokia's?
What did you call it?
Nokia.
Nokia. Nokia. I called it Nokia, baby. Did I?
Nokia.
I don't know.
I called it.
I don't know now.
not
I've
a
said it too many
Motorola.
times.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh God.
You're right.
Madam.
That's her name.
Yeah. What does she say? What's her song? Rap it for
I
me.
don't know. You're the one telling me.
My ass fat and my titties little.
No,
my
my-
ass fat and my titties. What does she say?
With my big old tummy. Something about her small titties and her big tummy. Or chubby tummy or something like that.
Oh, okay.
There we
It's
go.
good. It's very good.
Yeah, but she talks about that and she's like describing her lyrics and she's like, because I'm so small in my petite frame, And she's like trying to sound all proper,
I love that.
describing her lyrics.
Wait, how did we get to that?
I don't fucking know.
What made you bring up Lil Nokia?
Shit.
Oh no.
I see Deadly Instinct on my shelf. That's just a book of
What?
animals eating each other. It's a good book.
Fantastic.
What was the question?
Dan, a few live chats ago, I asked Dave and Kim if they'd ever read Corey Wayne's book, How to Be a 3% Man. Have you ever read it? No. The fuck is a 3% man? Is that a 97% woman? What is that?
That's good logic. I like that. It's cool. It's cool logic.
Is it saying you don't want to be a 1%er? You want to be a 3%er?
Just
The answer, I
slightly
don't know.
outside.
I haven't read it.
Yeah, I haven't read that.
Corey Wayne is a name, though. It's a good name to have.
Shit. What was I thinking of?
Lil Nokia?
No.
How did we get there?
Dan, sing your go-to. Hey, sing your go-to karaoke song.
Do I have a go-to?
You have to do it
I
right
have
now.
a go-to?
I can't. I have to scream to do it. I'm not going to scream right now.
What? You can sing.
Yeah. No, I can't do the AC/DC voice without literally blowing my lungs out.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't do it. Can't do a quiet version of that voice.
So
You
you're
can't
going
be like-
for realism.
You can't do it quiet. It doesn't work.
Just two cats fighting.
Yeah,
That's
you can't do
all
it.
that sounds like.
If I get real drunk, I do a pretty good David Bowie, but I'm not going to do that now.
Oh my god, why not?
Dude, because I'm fucking crossfaded. I'm not drunk.
That's cool. I just realized
Yeah,
that I shut the
dude,
music off
bruh.
and it hasn't been on this whole time.
That's right. That's
Shut
why
the music up.
Dan's gonna provide some music for us.
It's just been quiet
So
this whole
these,
time.
yeah, those moments of silence are heavy. They're just silence.
Yeah.
I can't get past. We're talking about strangling myself, and then the funny noise it makes, and then Lil Nokia.
Chat, how did we get here?
It's fine.
Dan, have you heard that song?
It's good.
Mm.
Man.
Kim doesn't even know who Dash Rendar is.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
It's
fucking
wild.
crazy.
It's fucking wild. You can live
You
as
say
long as we
Yahoo
do.
because it's so cool.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
It is cool.
Yahoo!
Dude, I tried
He
watching.
fights a Wampa, but just by himself.
What are you talking
Without
What's
a
a wampa?
lightsaber.
Kim, what's
What
a
are you
wait? Kim, what's a wampa? Do you even know that?
Oh my god, are you guys asking me Star Wars questions?
Oh hell yeah!
She's in the right galaxy.
Yeah. Dude, I tried watching part of Phantom Menace last night. It is fucking crazy when that kid goes, woohoo! The fact that that's in a movie.
Dan, we still
Yeah,
have to figure out what a
Yahoo!
Wampa is.
What's a
Is
wampa?
it in the Star Wars movie?
Yeah, it is. Well,
Now,
it's in one
now
of them.
figure it out. What is it?
Is it like a little Chewbacca?
Give you one more guess.
A wampa sounds like a fuzzy thing.
Okay, yes, keep going.
Is it like a
What color is it?
white?
Wow, it is
Wow,
white.
okay. That's very okay. We got fuzzy and white. So what is it?
A sheep?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
I was not expecting that. So you think Dash Rendar jumps around and fights sheep all by himself? There were some clues in the beginning.
Really good. Really, really. What do you think it sounds like, Kim? Can you do the Wampa voice?
Yeah, do it.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember what a Wampa sounds like, but it could be it.
All right,
Maybe when
Kim,
he's being
what is
casual.
Focus on this one. What is A tauntaun.
Is it that robotic like elephant thing?
Robotic elephant? Was there a robotic elephant in Star Wars?
Yeah, I think so. It's in the extended universe. Oh shit. The tauntaun, the robotic elephant.
Robotic elephant?
Yeah, I think she's talking about AT-ATs. It's the only thing it could be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no trunk, but otherwise very elephant. No ears either, but yeah.
Wait, what am I telling you?
Tauntaun. What's a tauntaun?
That's not a tauntaun. What is it?
I'm asking
An
you.
at.
An at. Stop crying.
What's a tauntaun?
You covering your mouth with tears. It's so funny.
What's a tauntaun?
What noise does it make?
I mean, sorta.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
You're so good at Star Wars stuff. So cool.
I don't know what a tauntaun is. Is it an animal?
Ironically, it's kind of a sheep.
Oh, really?
Sort of, yeah. It has a very sheep
yeah.
face.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
That's good.
Kim, what is a Minoc?
Oh.
I mean, you're not gonna find it if you're looking in your brain for what a Minoc is. You're not gonna remember it.
It's from when they do like those sky pod racing things.
Sky pod racing. Okay. Pod racing.
Yeah, I don't
So
even
what are
remember
they?
what a Minoc is. Is that the thing inside the asteroid?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta look
That-
at the windshield. They're with bats.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's an easy
I'm
one,
in
Kim.
tears.
Anyone can get this one, Kim. What is the
Uh-huh.
Sith rule of 2?
What?
What is the Sith rule of 2, Kim? Come on, this is easy.
What?
Come on, Kim. Everyone knows this one.
What did you just say?
What is the Sith rule of 2?
The Sith rule of 2. What is that?
Everyone knows this one.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Long ago, the Sith made a rule called the Rule of 2.
Kim's dying.
Yeah,
You're
it's all
actively
good.
killing her. You're just chopping her to bits.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's all good, Kim. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that one.
Just beating her to death. I do like the sincere sitting there and thinking about it for too long. When somebody asks you what a Minoc is,
Yeah.
like you're trying to remember the Pledge of Allegiance or something.
Yeah.
Something
It's pretty great.
Something you should know, but you just can't really place it.
I could literally do this all night. I'm gonna have to stop before it gets old.
I need a tissue. Can you give me a
Oh.
Wait, you could do what?
tissue?
Oh, you could
Ask
do
me
this all night.
questions all night because I have no.
I could ask Kim Star Wars questions literally all night.
Oh. Oh my god.
Kim, here's an easy one. What is a
Mhm.
What is a rancor?
Something that you put. It's like a power source.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it could be.
Kim, have you ever heard the
That's
tragedy
not.
of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
Oh,
No, never.
okay.
Never heard of it. Sorry.
He was so powerful in the Force he could prevent people from dying.
Huh?
Oh, it's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Oh. My stomach hurts from laughing.
Oh.
Imagine if a twister ripped through here right now.
Kim, what is a gungan?
That's what Axel says to me sometimes.
What's a gungan?
I swear to God. That's like one of his made up words.
Gungan? It's
A
not made
bone
up.
gang on a chun chun.
Tauntaun and Gungan?
I swear, that's
He's just a Star Wars fan, Kim.
oh. Well, what is it? What am I?
What's a gungan?
It's like a soldier.
I mean, all right.
Points.
Sure, I'll give you a point for that. Okay.
Where do they
More specific.
live? What do they live in? Where do they live?
The same planet as Ray.
What? What?
They do not live on Jakku, Kim. I'm sorry. No, they don't.
You're thinking of Desert Planet, Jakku.
Desert planet Jakku. Site of the last fight of the Empire. When we, of course, know that the Gungans live on Naboo. Known for its blue oceans and green pastures.
Oh, okay. I always get those two mixed
dude.
up.
You're so good at that. You're smart.
It hurts. Kim, what is a mon calamari?
Probably one of their teachers.
I mean, sure. Sure, why not?
Sure. Mon calamari. What's a bastard sword?
What's it called?
It's like a lightsaber that doesn't turn on.
There, yeah, exactly. Very good.
Oh man.
Kim, what noise would you make if you were called Salacious Crumb? Oh my god! It's actually really close. My goodness. Good job.
I have no idea.
Kim, have you seen Return of the Jedi?
This is like Kim's Squid Games. It's just
I know.
a bunch of trivia and shit she's never done before.
Kim, have you seen Return of the Jedi with Jabba the Hutt?
I think so.
You know, he's got like a little monkey dude, little tiny creature underneath him that was like that little guy.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Just watching the look on her face when you say it. He has a little guy.
That's Salacious. That's Salacious Crumb.
Oh, and he sounds like that.
Now you know, Kim. Now you can tell other people.
Man, tell everybody.
I will. Especially if my impression was spot on.
You're very close.
Do you know what that was? Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb. Obviously, I know.
I'm only good at one impression. It's Salacious Crumb. Noah?
Very close.
Oh my god.
Alright. What's going on, chat?
What is going on? 62 people in here. What
Yeah.
are you guys doing today?
What am I doing? What's chat doing?
Yeah, anything you want to update us on life-wise, Dan? People always like to hear from you. They always tell us, what's Dan been doing? We miss
Had a
him.
crazy weekend, but I'm not going to talk about it here.
You had a crazy
that is an ongoing
weeks,
story.
it's like.
When the story has concluded, I will share it. It's in development. Dave and Kim are aware of the introduction phase of that story.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes, we are. Although I was like telling Dave, I was like, I'm so mad that Dan's phone died. I'm glad he's okay, but like I was really worried about him. Like he texted me and he said, like, this night took a turn.
I said this
Help.
night took a turn. I'm in a movie scene. I can't stop. Help.
And I was
Yeah.
like, every time Dan has like called me or texted me and it's like out of the blue, it's like, hey, I'm in the hospital, or hey,
Yeah.
what happens if my balls are bleeding?
Yeah.
Should I, hey, hey, what should I do? Yeah, like it's usually like, oh, there was a car that exploded in front of me on on the
Watch this
interstate.
video. This car that just blew up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like the craziest thing. So when he said help, I was like, Dan's dying. Something's and then his phone, and it turns out he was just having a fun old time.
I mean, a part of me died.
Yeah, the crow.
Yeah.
You're back to regular Dan.
100%. A part of me died that black day. Yes, dear Quarks.
Yes, dear Quark.
Yes, dear Quarks. A part of me died that black day.
Yeah.
Chat, what's that from? Does anyone know? Nope. Things are changing again. I'll soon rule the world.
Solid. Do you remember when you download like a whole bunch of ROMs for like, Super Nintendo or something? And then back in, I mean, maybe it still happens today, but back when we were young and you'd go on like GeoCities sites to find stuff, you'd get some cool packs of ROMs. And I remember we put it in and it was just a slideshow in like 16-bit of hentai.
Pixelated hentai.
With just girls with dicks fucking other girls. And I was just like, whoa. We were,
This is a cool game. This is
we were
Japan
like
exclusive.
in 9th grade, 8th grade.
This one never left the PAL region.
That was such a weird time. And you just like play it and be like, wow, just go through a slideshow.
They'd have awesome names. Then you'd do like Dragon Senpai Riku or something. Then you'd click it and it would just be that. And you'd be like, oh.
Hentai
all right.
slideshow.
Oh my god, Riley Easter, you got it. That is Lunar. Correct.
Absolutely, it's Lunar.
The greatest voice acting of all time.
That's like my dorkiest moment in history. There's this video game called Lunar Silver Star Story. And if you bought like the collector box thing, it came in like a big chunky box. And
Even I didn't do it
inside there was a cloth map or whatever, I forget. There's like a few things that you get with it. And then there was a little pendant from the game that the main character wears. And the first time I played the game, I wore the pendant while I played it when I was a little kid.
Oh my god.
Look at a kid wearing the fucking thing in the Never-Ending Story. Come on, man.
I was in the game. I got pulled into it.
Even I never did that.
Well, it was a bridge too far. I got lost in the fog and I couldn't find my way.
The thing that bothered me about Lunar is it came with this little booklet of things called bromides, and it was just like softcore porn of all the female characters. And it was
yeah.
Why are you trying to turn me into a hentai fan? Why is this in the special edition? It's like upskirt photos of them like in like a hot steam room and stuff. Like what? Why
What
is this?
is this? What is this?
Why is this in an RPG?
This is ridiculous.
book? Yeah. Look at this.
Hiding away in the corner.
I hate it, but give me it.
Fucking, this is crazy that they do this.
Hide this under my bed where no one else can see it. Yeah, why was that a thing? I don't get why that came with it. There were like stickers. It came with like stickers of the fucking bromides. I was like, who the fuck wants this?
Horny people.
I'm gonna put it in my trapper keeper so I can look at it in class.
Oh my goodness. I'm dying. Hey, we're gonna jump off of here in like 10 minutes. That's probably a good one. Man.
Yeah.
I did
Mr.
not
Ken.
get much done.
Mr. Ken, you can do a lot with that portfolio. You can apply it at video game studios. You could even apply it to some movie studios. Look at like Vance Kovacs. He did art for like half of those on movie stuff. But yeah.
No, this isn't Odin. It's a druid. But if that were a raven, this could be Odin, some version of Odin.
Latrek, listen. I feel the same way about hentai that I do about anime, okay? If it's really well drawn, I'll give it a chance. Otherwise, not interested. If it looks like Studio Madhouse drew the hentai, I'll entertain it.
Yeah. Dude, I remember that was like when you're a little kid, that's a cheat code to porn.
Yep.
Because your parents don't know that this thing that looks like a regular cartoon, at least at that time, could also have nudity in it.
You're
So
like,
going
"Mom,
to
it's
like
not
Hollywood
porn."
Video, I'm like, yeah, this isn't, I'm not getting like, some borderline porny regular movie. I'm
Mom,
getting an anime.
it's not porn, it's Wicked City by the creators of Empire Hunter D.
Exactly.
My favorite Japanese anime. You don't need to know that it's full of naked women that might have a penis.
Yeah. It's really like the easiest way at that age if you have parents who have no idea. I had so many of those when I was a kid. I get like one movie I liked and one of those.
Yep.
So like, this is my safety net. This is all I
One
have.
one for the studio, one for me.
Just my
Smart-
Jekyll and Hyde.
Scorsese.
A fun movie and a porn. Gotta satisfy both.
What is it for guys that's like that secret thing that turns guys on? Like what?
That
like,
secret thing,
is
you
it
mean like a
hentai?
breeze?
Is that like a real thing?
Like anything can turn a
Wait,
guy
one thing
on.
that'll turn any guy on?
Like not any guy, like a secret thing.
You
Like, hentai?
said you started this like you were in a commercial for a cologne.
It's true, actually.
That's like the weirdest
one
delivery.
secret thing?
What's
So
that
wait.
one secret thing about a man that just
Kim,
turns
the
him
way-
on?
You
The fuck?
You made it
It's
sound
ridiculous.
like it's universal. Are you asking if there's a universal thing?
That
Hold
one secret thing that turns every guy on? I
She
don't
was
know.
asking-
Adriana Lima. It's not
She was
really a
ask-
secret.
She
Victoria's
was asking
Secret.
like there definitely is one thing that turns all women on that she knows about. She was asking what that version
Yes.
of the guy. So what's the thing for women?
There isn't that thing for guys because guys can get turned on by cars.
That's why.
Like there are guys that have sex with car tailpipes.
Yeah. So what's the thing that turns all women on?
Auditory stuff. Like talking.
Okay, so like ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, not ASMR. Not like chewing sounds. Not like.
Corpse
not like.
husband. Got it. What's the
What?
one thing that turned? Huh?
Like a celebrity, like a Angelina Jolie in the 90s. I don't know.
I'm not. Okay. That's not what I meant. I was like generalizing. Like, what is a thing that like most.
A girl saying hi.
Yeah.
That's most guys.
Yeah, that's most guys.
Just
yeah.
any girl giving a guy attention for a second.
A girl saying
Girl existing.
hi.
I just
a girl
noticed
choosing
it.
to stand, a girl choosing to be near you.
No.
Yeah, it's just a whole other universe. That's like asking me what's the secret to me shitting. I'm like, I wish there was a secret. I wish I didn't know. Any food, any food, and a little bit of sleep.
Wow. I can't think of a universal thing that turns all guys on.
You okay?
Dry.
I'm dry.
I don't know.
I mean, I know that there's like feet dudes and like
Yeah, that's a
butt
fetish.
dudes.
I called
and,
the
like-
Foot Clan.
Yeah. and boob dudes and face
I mean, most
dudes.
guys are gonna fall into a boob or butt category typically, but yeah, I guess. I guess if we're zooming way out.
I just
guess.
want to get off of whatever this road is.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
It has no end.
I don't know.
You know what it is, Kim? The thing that turns all guys on? Sadness. Because if a woman seems broken, we feel needed, and that shit's hot as fuck. I can fix that bitch.
Cool.
That's definitely niche.
I can fix that bitch.
That's definitely niche.
Her life's falling apart, and I'm full of glue. We're gonna fix this shit, and it always works out great.
Yeah, dude. It definitely does.
Yeah, Darkstorm's probably right. Validation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ironclad.
That's for men. That's the thing that turns on men.
Letting me play COD.
Validation and
yeah, validation. Yeah, I
That's a
think
good way
yeah
of
for
putting
most dudes. Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
Pretty good. What
So
made
someone
you
comes
ask
up to you and
that?
says, "You are enough," and
No
that's
one's ever
that.
Kim, no one's
And
ever
then
said
you're
that
like,
to me. The entire life, Kim.
fucking ready.
You are enough.
Like a
That's
fan.
validating.
If anyone I cared about ever said that to me in my life, I'd be so much happier right now. That's literally like a fantasy.
I could tell you. You're
Yeah,
enough.
but now it's forced.
Oh,
We can't
are
have
you
Goodwill Hunting.
horny now?
I
Are
could
you
never-
turned
I could
on?
never think of something that
No, because it wasn't
corny
real.
to say. Just randomly. Couldn't do
Man,
it.
if some girl I was into just pulled me aside randomly and was like, "You're enough. I just want you to know, like, you're enough." That'd be amazing. It'd be incredible.
I'm gonna do that, and then you're gonna find out that I eventually you live your whole life and you find out I paid for it to happen. You never forgive me.
Yeah. Guys typically fall into the same categories as chicken, where it's like leg, breast, thigh. It's like it's gonna be one. It's gonna be one of those.
That is not where I went.
Where did you go? Nashville hot.
No. I was waiting for you to just. I was like, oh no, is Dan gonna say white meat, dark meat?
No. What?
That's what I thought you were gonna say. I was like, oh no.
Riley says, "I think at least 99% of guys like nipples to be present." It's probably
Hey,
true.
90% of men like nipples.
Yeah.
Like nipples.
I like
They'll love the
Darkstorm.
huge amount of people that don't.
Because it applies to all guys, even gay guys. Validation, I think, is the universal.
I feel like, yeah, that's universal, like man and woman, because I think
Yeah.
who doesn't love a good praise kink, you know?
I want to know what made you ask, though. Because that question
What are
came
we
out
talking about?
of
Perfume.
not literally nothing. Perfume, yeah.
Perfume ads. You were trying
No,
to
not
think of the
even.
perfect one to
Because
pitch.
that was after Dave.
Oh, yeah.
We
true.
there was like a lull.
No,
in the
oh, we were talking about
conversation.
hentai, that's why.
Yes.
And I was like, is that the weird thing that turns guys on? Or is there something else that, like, all
the thing
guys
that
will be like,
turns-
it, but it's secret. Like, I don't want to admit it, but it turns everybody on.
It's a thing that turns weird guys on, not a weird thing that turns guys on.
Wait, say that again?
It's a thing that turns weird guys on, not a
Okay.
weird thing that turns guys on.
Okay, I see. Yes. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because I was thinking, like, you could generally apply, like, the auditory aspect of whatever. And that's, like, a woman. And guys are just like...
Guys have sex with fleshlights. Guys literally
I'm so
have
horny, my stomach hurts.
Guys literally have a fake
that is not what I
flashlight that they have
thought you
sex
were
with.
doing,
Oh no, what did you...
Absolutely true.
What did you think I was doing, Dan?
I thought you were doing the like fucking the meme blowjob sound.
Yeah, kind
The
of.
like gagging sound. That's where I thought you were going. I was like, I guess that sound turns most guys on. I guess.
You literally
Lord,
told me the other day.
Careful, where are we going? Where's this going? Careful.
Kim's going
You
into
said-
territory she
you
can't go
said-
into.
Because I sent Dan a video of this old lady shoving a hot dog down her throat.
Oh yeah.
And then pulling it out.
And they said no gag reflex. That's sad.
Yeah, and he said the spit is the best part.
He said the gag spit's the best part. Yeah. I'll
So
stand
you're
by
that person who likes that sound.
Whoa! I didn't say anything about the sound. I was talking about the spit. Those are two different senses, Kim. If you want to bring this up, bring it up accurately.
Are you kidding me though? How does gagging not make a sound?
It can, but I'm not focused on that.
It's the
Yeah.
sound of gagging.
I gotta tune that. I gotta go dead to the world and tune that out. I gotta focus on the positive.
True.
Oh my god. Do you just put earplugs in because you don't want to hear her gagging? But
I
you're
just
like,
think
that,
of a. I think of
the
a.
visual's nice and it
movie
feels
I like,
nice.
and I do the lines in my head.
Just listening to the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack by myself, listening to this is so dumb.
Exactly what Riley said. Like, babe, I got my Raycons in. Exactly that.
Yeah.
Here
What
we are.
turns guys on? It's like such a funny thing. I was telling Kim when I was a little kid, I would like go into. I didn't know what sex was. I just knew sex was a concept, but I didn't understand it. So it's like, you know, when you're with like, your friends, it's like you talk about stuff like that. Like I know what it is, you know, like that sort of thing. And but nobody really does. And I was trying to figure it out so much. I chopped up a bunch of boobs that I got from like catalogs and comics.
Fucking serial killer.
And then I
chopped up a bunch of boobs.
And then I just put them down my pants and just walked around outside.
This is sex.
Thinking like this is what sex is. I just got breasts all over my flaccid penis.
Just
Literally
stuck
a
because
scene.
it's all sweaty.
Literally a scene from Silence of the Lambs. Like what?
Dude, the thing that like it cracks me up about that, just like thinking of somebody seeing it, somebody seeing a kid walk by and then a piece of paper floats out from their shorts and it's just a picture of boobs.
That Squid Game song starts playing.
Just how insane that is. Just to see, if you knew there was a kid doing that.
What do you think the
it's
odds
like,
are at some
holy
point?
shit.
What do you think the odds are at some point your mom was doing laundry and saw the boobs fall out of your shorts, and that's why you got exercised eventually? Like there's
So
something
I was
in my
cutting
son that's
them
gonna
into
cut women
shreds
up.
and putting them in my pants.
He's practicing on magazines. Oh, good lord.
Darkstorm says, never want a handmade letter from Dave.
Yeah,
Will it have come from your pants? Is that why?
possibly.
Like a little ransom note.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that era is hilarious. When you don't know, but you know there's something.
Mm-hmm.
There's something here. I have an instinctual attraction. I just don't know what to do with it.
Also, I don't know why we were talking about this, but the other day we were talking about like, how old were you when you first saw porn? Like how old were you when you first saw real porn?
I was really young.
Same, like weirdly
was
young.
pretty
Because
young.
if I think about where like our kids are
I was
at,
like-
right? I'm like, that's
You were what?
It's probably 5.
Yeah.
whoa,
pretty
that's
young.
really young. I think I said 7 or 8, which is
I remember
super
what it was,
fucking young,
too.
especially for a girl.
Yeah.
You know,
I
7 or
remember
8 was the first time I saw.
Vividly. Sometimes I go find it,
You hear that?
and I go, I remember being 5.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. Yeah, your nephew's 5.
Yeah.
I remember at the
being
time, you know, like when you have anything VHS related as a kid, some kind of, you know, Skinamax type of situation that you recorded, and you're trafficking around the neighborhood to like other kids' houses. It's just like this contraband nobody can know you have. And I still remember going over to my friend's house, and he was like, he put it into the VCR, and he didn't realize how loud the volume was. It was already super loud, and we were just in the upstairs with like an open loft, and his parents were downstairs. And the first thing it did full blast was say, "You have the most beautiful breasts," and I was just like,
"No, yeah,
no!" Just ran,
yeah.
shut it off, and we just ran out of the house. It was terrifying.
Yeah. Prepare
What?
yourself. Prepare yourself, because I don't know if I've told you this. I know I've told Dave this.
Okay.
Do you know the first time I ever saw like a full vagina, there was a mouse coming out of it?
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god, that makes me feel sick.
Yeah. I was so confused. I was like 11, I think.
Dan was in
What?
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, like why?
Something crawled
Dude.
out of a body.
Was it? Yeah. Was it?
My friend Steve was like, my parents are going out of town. I'm home alone for the whole week. It's spring break. Ride your bike over. We're just going to have a party. And I was like, okay. So I go over there. There's a few people. And he's like, dude, I downloaded porn on my computer. I have a ton of it. And he was like, what do you want to see? And I was like, I don't know. Click through. So he turns on the computer. And the first thing he opens up, it's just a Japanese woman just holding it open with a mouse head poking out. And I'm like,
no.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what this is. I'm not attracted to this. Thank God. Well, like, yeah, that's just, there it was. And I was like, why do you have this? Did you just find this or did you seek this out? Like, what? There you go.
Did you know that your preference for a partner is actually like solidified? I think around 12 or 13, something like that, right? That like kind of ends up being your preference for. It's like in your peak of whatever, like, or the start of puberty or something.
Girls who look like mice. Yeah.
It's like when you have that surge of hormones, like that really like whatever that is, it has like such a strong impact on like what your preference is at that time that like almost always ends up being your preference.
We don't have to get into
Later in
this
life.
live. We don't have to get into this live. But if you ever done the mental research to figure out where any of your fetishes came from?
Say that again.
Have you
said
done
we don't
the
have to-
mental research to see where your fetishes came from? And he said,
Have you
don't
followed
have to
it
do
back? Yeah, we don't have to do it live. I'm just curious. Have you ever figured out where something started and gone, oh, that's why I'm into that?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean mine are pretty straightforward.
Okay. We didn't have to get into it, but very funny to do that and go, oh, that thing I forgot. That's what did it.
Just my brother holding me down and farting on my head.
So you like women shitting in your mouth?
Just punching me in the back and farting on my face. And get me in a banana split. No, I wish I had something like that. I'm just trying to think. I don't have like any of those like formative moments like that where I'm like, oh right.
Was curious.
I don't think I mean it wouldn't have happened until later where I like questioned the origin of that, you know?
It's interesting to try and figure it out.
Okay,
Anyway.
so what do you have in mind? What shaped what part of your
I followed something back to when I was like 9 years old that I forgot even happened, and then I was like, "Oh, that's why I'm into that." And I like remembered it way more vividly after that. I was like, "Oh, right, okay." But yeah,
Oh, you don't want to talk about it?
no, I'm not going to talk about it. God, no, no way, absolutely not. I'm not that high.
No way. No way.
Not that high. I will say the first porn I ever saw when I was 5 was a Tracy Lords video, though.
Don't know who that is.
She became an actress later, but yeah.
Is this one of the Lawrence brothers' siblings?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Lawrence of
Casey
Labia.
Lawrence.
Yeah. I'm ready to end the stream on a high note. Whenever you're ready, you just tell me.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
All right, Cam, ready?
What are we
From
gonna
culture from cultureslate.com. Don't look it up.
Oh my god.
It's time for you to name.
Reunion.
It's time for you to name in descending order or ascending order from 20 to 1.
We're supposed to say it in unison.
Ascending
Yes,
order
I was
20
ready.
to 1.
I
What
thought we
are
were
the
gonna close it out together.
What are the
Wait.
best? Huh?
Wait, say that again, Dan. What are the best what?
In ascending order, Kim. What are the 20 best Star Wars alien species? Go.
Starting from 20.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my God! It's the Gungans. You're right. You got the first one. What's number 19?
Ewoks.
I'm sorry, it's the Claudites, known for their changeling shape-shifting
I
abilities.
don't
exactly
like this
clones.
at all.
What's number 18?
This is too fucking nerdy for me.
Okay, what's number 1?
I'll give you
I
a
don't
hint.
know
Number
this.
18 was made famous by the Jedi Kit Fisto. Come on, Kim. Kim, you know this.
The Tim Tams.
I'm sorry, it's the Nautilans.
Oh
Nautilans,
my
known
god.
for Kit Fisto.
Have Kim guess number 1.
All right, what about top 3?
Yeah, top 3. What's number 3?
Okay, Ewoks is
Alright.
in top 3.
What's number 3?
Kim said Ewoks.
Sorry, Ewoks is not number 3.
Chewbacca. Is he an
Sorry,
alien?
Chewbacca. Chewbacca's not number 3.
Wampa. Wampa.
Sorry, Kim, it's the Togrutas.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I don't
Made
even know.
famous by famous Jedi such as Shakti and Ashoka Tano. These double tendrilled aliens are known for their distinctive patterns. And their
I know who they are now.
What is number 2, Kim?
You got those old. You already said a couple that sounded pretty good to
Yeah.
me.
Chewbacca.
Sorry, Chewbacca's not number 2.
Are the robots considered aliens?
only if it's a General Grievous situation where it's a cyborg. Right? Sorry.
Or droids, I guess. They're not robots, right? They're droids.
Well, that's an ongoing issue in the canon. We don't know if droids are sentient species or not.
We're not gonna talk politics.
What's number 2?
Am I still guessing? Oh, shit. I don't
Tusken
know.
Raiders.
Tusken Raiders.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Jawas.
I was gonna guess that next.
These crafty. I did not write this sentence. I'm just reading it off Culture Slate. These
Yeah.
crafty little junkers are known in any galaxy.
Ewoks, then,
These
right?
crafty little
Crafty
jokers.
little junkers. All right, and number 1, of course, Kim, is
Humans.
Star Wars alien.
Oh.
Ewok.
No.
The most famous Star Wars
You've said it.
alien?
You've said it a few times, Kim.
It's a Wookiee.
Yeah, Chewbacca. Yeah. Where the fuck are Ewoks? You're right. Let me scroll up. Come on,
way.
Darth Maul's species is not more popular than Ewoks. No. Come on. What are we doing here? The Camino and cloners
Hey,
are
let
higher
me tell
than
you something
Ewoks?
real quick. You need to get a different edible because your edibles do something different to you than what they do to me. What mine do to me.
Dude, Ewoks are number 13. They're not even in the top 10.
Yeah, that's Bo. This isn't general
Wild.
populace.
That's some bullshit.
If you ask people on the street, Ewoks would be way higher.
Absolutely.
All right, this is over.
See you later, all you crafty little bunkers.
Yeah, see you all. Thanks for hanging out. Kim choked herself. Made the
Hell yeah.
noise.
Oh, honorable mention, Yoda species.
Yoda species.
That's what it says. Yoda species. Great.